Oh, the stalker did text me. Just an update. People were wondering what happened. Let's see. Stalker. He said, on today's Pardon My Take, we have a twofer for the people. We're talking college hoops with our good friend Johnny Fanta, Conference Championship Week. We also have Pete Prisco on to talk a little NFL free agency.
Two Italians today.
Double
dipping, the gabagool.
A lot of Italians on today's show. We're going to talk some NFL free agency. We got Hot Seat Cool Throne. We got Guys on Chicks. There's a lot going on in the sports world, and it's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. The thrill and excitement of March Mania is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, is giving new customers a shot to turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets with any college basketball bet. That's right. To celebrate college basketball's most frenzied time of year, DraftKings is giving new customers a shot to rack up some bonus bets, and DraftKings is now live in North Carolina. So join the fun, North Carolina. We got all the conference tournaments starting. We got day basketball every single day. And like I said, you can turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets with any college basketball bet. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TAKE. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code TAKE. The crown is yours. Go download the DraftKings Sportsbook now and get involved in all the action this March. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Go download the DraftKings Sportsbook right now. Use code TAKE. You can turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets. Today is Wednesday, March 13th. Standing on the corner, Jameis Winston down in Berea.
I got standing on a corner, Jameis Winston Cuyahoga.
Ooh, I like that. Jameis Winston's on the Browns.
It's the river. The river that caught on fire in Cleveland at one time.
Berea is where the practice facility is. The facility is.
Yeah, I like Cuyahoga. Maybe standing on the shore of Jameis Winston Cuyahoga.
Yeah.
Standing on the shore of Jameis Winston Cuyahoga.
Jameis Winston is a Brown. We got NFL free agency. We're going to get into a lot more detail with Pete Prisco, but
I think Jameis signing with the Browns, that puts a nail in the Joe Flacco discussion, right? It's like Joe.
Yeah.
I think they brought in Jameis because they could have re-signed Joe Flacco. I think Flacco was too popular. I think that they were like,
Jameis is going to be the most popular.
That's what they don't understand is that Jameis is maybe some of Jameis's leadership qualities will rub off. That's probably a bad choice of terms. Maybe some of Jameis Winston's leadership qualities will motivate Deshaun Watson to be a better human being.
Yeah.
Not rub off.
I'm happy for Jameis Winston, though.
I'm very happy.
He wanted a place, and guess what? Deshaun Watson might not play the whole season, so we might get some Jameis for the Browns. That's chaotic good.
It is. It's good. I like it. He sounds like he got a good deal, too, like $8 million for a year, and now all he has to do is wait.
He should have been Kirk Cousins, who's now made over $400 million in his NFL career.
Well, maybe. So he's made like, what is it, 230-something million, and he's got $100 million in guaranteed money. He's probably going to eclipse $400 million over the course of his career.
It's crazy.
$90 million guaranteed at signing, and the other $10 million is guaranteed a year early. So I want Kirk Cousins' agent.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, like, whatever you want to say about Kirk Cousins, the quarterback, he has played every single thing right when it comes to free agency and the teams he picked. Because I was thinking about it, like, he probably could have stayed with the Vikings. They wouldn't have given him as much money, and they also would have. They've had the Kirk Cousins experience. They know they probably would have always had an eye towards who's going to be the next guy. Now he gets to start fresh in Atlanta, and it feels like he's going to be the guy for. Atlanta's basically saying maybe he'll take us over the top.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a good quarterback for him. I think it's a good fit for both sides, and he's getting $62.5 million in cash this year.
Yeah,
he's getting $90 million in the first 2 years, and he has another no-trade clause.
Yeah.
So the GOAT. He is the GOAT at getting paid.
One
Much
playoff
respect.
win.
One playoff win.
He only has one? I thought he had two. Oh, no.
That wasn't the Minneapolis Miracle. Was what's
Case
his name?
Keenum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also had one of my favorite parts of free agency is when guys go to teams that just make sense. Derrick Henry to the Ravens just makes sense. And I'll say it, even though they're rivals, Patrick Queen is going to be perfect as a Steeler.
Yeah, it's going to be good. They lost a queen, but they got a king.
Yeah.
The NFL.
There we go.
That's the new tagline. Yeah. Adam Schefter tweeted out the breaking news about Derrick Henry and Patrick Queen and just said the NFL.
I feel like the Ravens have lost every player.
Have they?
They lost
offensive
Gus. Lineman. They lost Gus. They lost Patrick Queen. I think they lost a safety. Yeah, they lost a safety to the Bengals, which was a great pickup by the Bengals. I feel like they're getting gutted, and the Dolphins are getting gutted.
Mm-hmm.
There's some teams getting gutted right now.
Yeah.
We should talk about our new running backs.
We got great. We're zigging while everyone else zags, Big Cat.
Yeah, the two of us and Max, we all got new running backs. DeAndre Swift. You got Austin Eckler.
Mm-hmm.
Max, you got Saquon Barkley. How are we feeling about it? By the way, Tiki Barber, you're a loser, dude.
Dead to me.
You are a loser.
Tiki Barber's dead to us?
I don't know where okay.
No, we should get him on.
Let me say this as nice as possible.
Tiki Barber, you're dead to us until you come on Part of My Take.
Well, I have a quote from Tiki Barber after he retired with the Giants. So Tiki Barber took offense to the fact that Saquon Barkley went to the Eagles and said, "You're dead to me. You can't do that. You can't go from the Giants to Eagles." Tiki Barber, after abruptly retiring, "I should be able to choose when I want to leave and if I want to stay. Some people, particularly radio personalities who will remain nameless, criticize me for having a vision or a dream." That's interesting. Also, Tiki Barber, I'm not going to do the low blow stuff, but let's just, when we talks about like loyalty, you're not the guy.
No.
You're not the guy.
No. We can go down that road, Tiki.
But you're not the guy to talk about loyalty. That was a crazy reaction by him.
It was nuts. I get the hatred of your division rivals, but at the same time, it's like you played running back. You know that running backs aren't getting paid. How are you going to shame a guy for getting paid more money to go play? The Giants could have given more money last year.
Saquon literally said it. He's like, I wanted more. Like someone gave me the money I was looking for.
It's going to be so sick to see Phillies fans, Eagles fans in the stands next year wearing like Barkley Sixers jerseys.
Ooh.
Rooting for Saquon.
And also it works because Penn State.
Yeah.
You got a lot of Penn State fans, diehard Saquon fans, Eagles fans. So Max, how are you feeling? We did break the mold though, just paying running backs.
Yep.
So did the Packers, Josh Jacobs. So did the Vikings, Aaron Jones. This feels like an overreaction.
No,
it feels like everyone's like, oh yeah, maybe that Zoom call. We should listen to that.
No, it's the new market inefficiency, Big Cat. Our teams are smart. We saw every other team in the NFL wasn't willing to pay running backs, and we said, you know what? Now's the time. If ever, now's the time to get a running back.
Now's the time.
Yep.
I also saw there's something about the cap. There's a reason for that. That like
cap went up.
So cap
went up.
So this is actually in the amount that running backs are getting paid are actually in line with the cap percentage.
Oh.
Yep. That's
something that I won't figure out for at least 3 more years.
Yeah.
I'd be like, someone would point out that actually all these deals were very smart. I'm like, oh, okay. And then by that time, the cap will have stayed flat. And running backs will be having to get paid less again.
What about inflation, too? Does that help? Like, is Joe Biden good for running backs?
Probably.
We can make that argument. We can go down that line, yeah.
Probably.
Max, I saw that you also got a fantastic new piece of memorabilia. You have the Jason Kelsey soup can.
Yeah, no, it rocks.
So how much did you pay for that can of soup?
That soup was gifted to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you going to drink it?
Drink it?
Yeah, like shotgun it. You should. Jason Kelsey would shotgun that soup.
I don't think you can shotgun. I would drink it.
You can shotgun anything.
Yeah, you can shotgun a can of soup.
I don't. How big does that hole have to be?
Pretty big.
Big hole. You gotta make a big hole.
Yeah. I'd shotgun that soup. It's great. I mean, it's a great looking can. Great looking can.
You're never gonna eat that soup.
I'm gonna see. That's the thing.
You got to eat it when he goes into Canton.
Yes.
Yeah,
actually, that's a great idea because I want to have it on my desk because it's great to look at.
Yeah. Don't eat that.
Don't eat that.
No, you should shotgun it. He would want you to shotgun it.
It is like a collectible. It's awesome. Shout out Campbell sending me that soup. It's awesome.
Max just likes to sit there and look at a can of soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
this
great.
reminds me of my favorite football player.
All right, so who else? So Saquon, you're pumped?
Yeah, I mean, Saquon is. watched Saquon since he was in college. He was so electric at Penn State. That hurdle against Iowa will always be like one of the coolest plays I've ever seen.
Agreed.
And it sucked having him on the Giants the past X amount of years because he was like such a fan favorite at Penn State. And then when you get him, like I've always been I don't want to pay a running back, don't want to pay a running back guy. But then when you pay the running back and the running back Saquon Barkley, you just get to watch so many fun highlights.
Yeah.
I mean,
like that's really the best part of Saquon is like yesterday I spent so much time just watching Saquon highlights.
he's got great highlights too.
He does.
Yeah, he's
really
awesome.
He does.
He's the best. I'm so excited.
I like the Swift signing too because Swift was awesome last year for you guys, Max. You know that, and I think that this is good. It's like if you got to pay a running back, I think he's one guy that you should pay.
And
like Saquon and Swift, I think
Yeah.
are two great signings. Also, Austin Eckler seems like a cool guy. That's what I'll say.
And it's also like, yes, Saquon is getting older, but he's played behind the worst offensive line every year of his career. And he's going to the Eagles that, like, there's some stat that Saquon had the highest percentage of, like, plays hit behind the line of scrimmage, and DeAndre Swift had the least amount of plays hit behind the line of scrimmage. So it's like we could see a Saquon that we haven't seen before.
Do you think Saquon is going to be good for the tush push? I think he might be.
He might
Yeah.
be that. Yeah.
Get him
mean-
behind Jalen and have that ass start working.
I saw a picture of a side-by-side of both Jalen and Saquon's quads.
Ass for
great,
days.
great,
Yeah.
great set of legs on those two
Quads
fellas.
for days. Yeah, we have it's free agency frenzy. We have the Schefter doing the fake deals, Rapport too, where it's just the agent, you give a little handshake deal. Hey, yeah, I'll report that this is a 3-year deal for $40 million, and then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's actually a 1-year deal for $10 million guaranteed.
There's also a weird rumor going on out there. Jamar Chase has kind of fed into it a little bit. He said, I can't wait to tell this story. It's going to be crazy one day.
Oh,
People are speculating. Let the speculation begin. And we all know that wide receivers, amongst all positions, have the weirdest tweets, the most cryptic tweets possible.
which I love.
A lot of people are thinking Kirk Cousins leaves Minnesota. Justin Jefferson's not going to be too happy about that.
Oh,
Maybe get a little
T. Higgins is looking for a trade as well.
Maybe get a little LSU reunion.
Could you imagine Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow? I can't even imagine.
I can't. I don't know. I can't even.
Can't even imagine it. Yeah, we have all these deals going left and right. My approach for free agency is just if the Bears sign someone, I'm like, yes, they're back, and then anyone else signs them, it's an overpay.
Yeah.
That's really how I just judge every single deal.
I'm kind of the same way, and my friend JP Finley in DC tweeted this out today when the Commanders have added like 5 defensive players that are all like nice, maybe like average, slightly above average.
$10 million, $12 million deal.
And JP's like, I love this. Keep hitting singles.
Yeah.
It's right. Yeah, you're right, JP. Yeah, keep hitting singles.
Yeah, anyone who's signing for less than 3 years and less than $15 million, it's literally like great signing.
Great
Who cares?
veteran depth is
Yeah.
important in this league.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fun to just what?
Patriots might have solved their QB problem.
Oh yeah, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, he's a great player.
That is a good backup.
Yeah.
That's a very good backup. I don't know. Bears Twitter's freaking out right now because Justin Fields, let's just say that.
And the dome.
Might have overrated Justin Fields a little bit and his contract. Teams don't want to trade for him. But now there's this idea that they're going to keep Justin Fields and draft Caleb Williams. I am very much opposed to that. But that feels like what a potential situation to get the most value out of Justin Fields.
So I brought that up a few
You're
months
gonna
ago.
And I said I
You're
didn't
gonna-
like
And
it
you
then.
said,
You're gonna have
and
to
Big
start
Cat,
I've been
spinning.
consistent. I've
Big
been
Cat's been
consistent.
consistent, but Big Cat, what was my point when I did bring it up? Was that there will be an injury,
Yeah, no, of
and
course.
then his value is going to go
It
up.
still makes no sense.
It doesn't make. Oh, by the way, did you see the player in Arkansas State who's named Caleb Fields?
No.
Yeah, and then
Maybe
there's
that jersey.
there's another guy that's on. I think he's on Fairfield, also named Caleb Fields.
Oh wow,
You can't escape this
you
debate.
got a lot of them going.
This debate just lives.
The city of Chicago can't handle having those two guys on the same roster. It would not be good, let alone the locker room. But yeah, I obviously if Ryan Poles is like, I want to get the most value out of Justin Fields, you keep him.
Yeah.
It's a really bad idea. I'm consistent. I remember when you said that to me, I was like, that's a bad idea because literally everyone in that locker room has said that Justin Fields is the guy. And if you bring in Caleb Williams, you're basically saying, I hope Caleb Williams is so much better than Justin Fields that everyone will watch him play football and say, oh, yeah, forget about Justin Fields. We'll put him on the bench.
Maybe 2 quarterback system. Didn't they do that with Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams? And everyone was like, play Caleb.
It was more Caleb came in and was way better.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, this guy's really good.
Yeah, the fans were like, play Caleb.
This is just too much hand-wringing, too many signings, too many trades happening, and none of them are Justin Fields.
Yeah, Hank brings up a good point, though. The dome in Chicago. Kurt Warner's smiling. His head is spinning. He's so excited about this. Bear weather is dead. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You come to Chicago, and I want to see a bunch of linemen on the Bears wearing, like, cut-off sleeves. We're tougher than the cold.
I want a retractable dome and open it whenever it's bad weather.
Yeah, it's
like
tough.
that's what they should do. If I had a team, that's what I would do. I would have a retractable dome. I'd keep it closed if it was like 50 degrees or rainy. But anytime it dipped below 30, I'd be like, open that bitch up. Let's play some bear weather.
It also just gives so much material to Packers fans.
Well, they're never gonna build
Lions,
a stadium.
Vikings.
I know.
Bears.
Yeah.
Dome.
Yep.
Yeah. It's true. Packers
tough.
got a leg up.
Yeah,
they're never gonna build the stadium, so it doesn't even matter.
With the winters in Chicago, it's almost like
It's also traffic.
it doesn't.
Yeah, it's
like
be the worst.
Bear weather might not be as impactful 10 years from now. Like the weather in Chicago. Hank, I saw you tweet about it. The winter has
I had it for my cool throne.
The winter has been awesome here.
The bear weather is literally a polar bear sitting on a little ice cap with Coca-Cola in his hand, looking cute as fuck, about to eat a seal.
Yeah.
Like, don't eat that seal. I always feel bad for the seals.
No, it said they're moving forward though. What else do they have to do?
Who fucking knows? They keep saying that about everything. It's gonna take forever, and they're probably gonna change it 7 more times, and it's gonna cost us all a shitload of money, and it's gonna be stupid, and it's gonna be a joke.
I think
Caleb Williams will fix all these problems.
I think billionaires should pay for their own fucking stadiums.
Agreed. That's a spicy take.
I know. Bleep that out, please.
You should get a show.
Is your owner even a billionaire?
What? What'd you say?
Are you guys even billionaires?
Aren't
you guys like broke boys?
No, I mean the Bears are worth multiple billions of dollars. So if they are technically billionaires by assets,
but not billionaires.
Oh no, they don't got cash in the bank.
No, okay,
no. Virginia McCaskey goes to the
like she couldn't pay for her own. Fucking
she's got
stadium.
some owners
like
could. $6,000 in there. Yeah.
Could your owner?
Yeah.
Did he? He spent all that money on the lighthouse.
That's how he got the team in the first place.
Did he pay for his own stadium?
In a way.
I don't know. I'm actually asking, did he? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I'm sure I don't think any billionaires ever paid for their own.
No, they never
stadium.
do.
But he did buy the property, which
that's right. So the way that he got the money was he bought the parking lot next to the stadium, right?
No, he bought the deed to the property.
Yeah.
The parking lot.
So that if a team was going to buy the team, they're going to have to pay him to operate the stadium.
He's a parking lot billionaire.
So the NFL is like, we'd rather just sell it to you rather than give money to you.
The key to any new stadium is just 2 words: hotel tax. That's what you just always got to say. We're going to tax the hotels. Because then no one here is like, oh, fuck, what the hell? Yeah, right. They like tax the hotels. Each hotel gets taxed. Playing Monopoly now. Who the fuck knows? It's a joke. All right, what other free agencies talk? Dolphins got gutted.
Yeah. Are the Dolphins okay?
I don't think so.
I don't think they're okay. I think they're in like crisis mode.
Yeah.
Like Britney Spears shaving her head.
Tyreek also was in another. Tyreek Hill, his headlines, they're like Mad Libs now, where it's every month. It's like Tyreek Hill was at a concert and pushed a woman. Tyreek Hill was waiting in line at McDonald's and got in a fight with a 7-year-old boy. Like, it's just, I don't know.
73 kids in the last year.
Like, every headline, I'm just like, okay, maybe this happened.
No, he's become like the funniest headline guy by far. You remember that graphic of like all of his ex-girlfriends and baby mamas?
Yeah.
And they all looked exactly the same.
What was I got to find the most recent one.
Tyreek Hill broke
the woman's leg.
OnlyFans model's leg in backyard football practice.
After getting beat.
Yeah.
Like in response to getting smoked.
Tyreek Hill gets cooked on a go route, breaks plus-size OnlyFans model's leg in revenge drill.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill gets crossed up on a basketball court, kicks a dog in the face.
Yeah.
Being sued.
Tyreek Hill assassinates Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Okay, here it is. Here's the most recent one. Tyreek Hill in heated clash at Atlanta comedy gig escalates after his exit. So it sounds like it was Tyreek Hill was involved in a heated confrontation at Kevin Hart's comedy gig, which escalated in a full-blown brawl after he left. Okay, so sources close to the Dolphins star wide receiver tells us that after settling into a seat at the Coca-Cola Roxy Friday, a woman grabbed him claiming he had taken the seat she had paid for. Like, how does this happen?
Mm-hmm.
It keeps happening to him. So, yeah.
Unlucky guy.
Unlucky guy. Any other free agency stuff? It really is. Just watch the deals, and if your rival gets a deal, you're like, that was an overpay. I would never pay for a fucking center.
We've had some time to digest the Russell Wilson signing. I don't hate it. I still don't hate it. I think he's cheap.
I'm still in like a it doesn't change anything.
I think he's cheap. I think it's a good division.
And speaking of Schefter saying when he did note that Russell Wilson signed a team-friendly deal.
Yep, I like that.
He had no other option. Team-friendly deal.
Well, he's getting paid a shitload. What are the Broncos doing, by the way? Do the Broncos have a plan at quarterback?
No. I think they're going to gut it, too.
Yeah, they have
everything. What were you going to say, Max?
I was just going to say we didn't bring up Brian Burns.
Brian Burns. Yes, yeah. we bring it up with Prisco, but Brian Burns, the Panthers' new regime, is just as bad as the old one. They traded Brian Burns for a second-round pick to the Giants a year and a half after the old regime was offered 2 first-rounders for him.
Yep. So smart.
Awesome.
Smart work.
Great job.
The Vikings signed Sam Darnold.
How stupid is that? But just one last thing. The old regime, if you get 2 first-round picks for anyone, you should take it because then it just extends your job.
Yeah.
You're like, I have the picks.
Because then you're gonna see how those guys develop.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of people in the NFL that are worth 2 first-round picks.
Yeah. How many first-round picks would Patrick Mahomes be worth? Seriously.
All of them?
7?
Would
it be 7?
Maybe. The problem with Patrick Mahomes is that he's so good at playing football that on an open market, I don't think any football team could afford to pay him to play football.
Yeah. 7
first-round picks, and then probably give him another like $600 million.
Yeah.
Top of that. That's probably fair for
yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
On top of that. You were saying Sam Darnold to the Vikings.
Vikings. Is he going to be the starter?
I think he might. Although, no, the Vikings, it feels like they're going to draft a quarterback.
The Mononapolis Vikings?
Yeah. We'll
go with that. We'll play
right off
that.
the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're going to draft a quarterback. I feel like the Raiders signing Gardner Minshew, Vikings signing Sam Darnold, it doesn't. I think that's the plan is we needed like someone if the draft doesn't go our way to be sitting here and be like, that guy's played quarterback before.
Jimmy G could be that guy
That's
too.
always a smart strategy just to get someone in the room being like, he has played.
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Brissett to the Patriots.
He's played pretty well. Jacoby Brissett might be the best backup quarterback.
Yeah, the Vikings have the 11th pick, and the Raiders have the 13th pick. That feels like that could easily be Michael Penix, Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy.
Yep, right in that zone.
Yeah. All right, what else? We got college basketball going crazy. Congratulations to the James Madison Dukes for punching their ticket.
We're dancing, baby.
Beat the fuck out of Arkansas State.
Crushed Arkansas State.
Who could root for that team?
It wasn't even close. Some people were saying that they were going to spank that ass before the game. No. The Red Wolves didn't stand a chance. JMU is a really good team.
Yeah, they are.
That's the takeaway. If you watch them play at all this year, they had a couple stumbles, but they have the best record in college basketball, most wins. They tried to schedule more quad 1, quad 2 games. Fanta gets into that a little bit with us. No team wants to play them, but they won 31 games this year. Pretty good team. I'm very excited to watch my team play in March Madness because it's a treat that a lot of people get to experience year in, year out. Like Villanova, they play in the tournament every single year without fail, and it's great for those people. It's just you can mark it on your calendar. Villanova is going to be in the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
And for me, it's like I've gotten to experience this one other time in my life. March has an entirely different smell to it this year.
Oh, yeah.
Where you get to look forward to living and dying with your team. So I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, conference tournament week we're in the thick of it right now. We're balls deep in conference tournaments.
I'm just watching some of the shittiest basketball get played. I was watching Towson, I think, last night. And was Towson? No, Towson. I was watching Towson.
Towson played Charleston.
Yeah, I was watching Towson. Towson went to the line with 1-1 with like 20 seconds left down 2, and the kid airballed it. And I was just like, yeah. This is fucking March, dude.
It is good.
This is good. Some good-ass basketball I'm watching.
I can't wait. I have a pre-Fire Fest I told you guys about, but I want to say it out loud because I'm trying to manifest against this happening. I have to be at a wedding that I committed to like 8 months ago. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it's the Friday of March Madness, which is bad timing in general to have a wedding. I'm convinced that it's going to be JMU playing during that time slot. That time slot, if it's on Friday afternoon, I'm going to be watching on the smallest screen possible, being antisocial at a wedding. I'm not looking forward to that. I want to be locked in on this game.
Yeah.
If I'm locked in, we win. We're going to win 2 games.
I'm rooting for you.
If I have to watch it on my iPhone, we're going to lose that game. That's how it's going to go.
My pre-Fire Fest is, I think, and this is a little egotistical, but I do think that We've seen it maybe with the NFL scheduling when they throw what we played on Thursday night, and then I think 2 years ago the Bears played the Patriots on Monday night. A little egotistical, but I do think they could potentially have Wisconsin play JMU in the first round, and Wisconsin would lose that game.
Ooh, that would be a fun
without
stream.
a doubt.
That would be a fun stream.
Well,
is there somebody
unless you're there? Unless you're on Friday.
Is there somebody in that room that's an AWL?
I don't want it. Wisconsin's going to lose whoever they play in the first round, so I'd rather not.
Because JMU is slotted,
although maybe that'd be a great friend move. Be like, here's a bye.
Here's a win. JMU's slotted to be like an 11 or 12. Wisconsin would probably be a 6.
6, but when they lose in the first round of the Big Ten tournament, they'll be a 7, so that might end it right there. I think they will be a 7 because they've just played so bad. It's really a bummer. It's really a bummer. And Max is trying to get – Max is doing me – Max is reversing it on me. He's doing what I do to him, and I don't like it.
Did he bet on Wisconsin?
No. He goes – I was like, I don't want – like, we're going to lose. It doesn't matter. We stink. We're playing bad basketball. And Max is like, nah, you'll still believe. And I'm like, shut up, Max. I won't. We have to beat Purdue for me to believe.
Max, you gotta put a substantial bet on Wisconsin.
Well, that would be literally burning money.
I didn't say believe. I said you were like, I just want to get it over with right away, have them lose. But
11 a.m. on Thursday.
But I said it would be better to be Friday because then you get Thursday as the whole day of just like watching basketball because no matter what, he's going to be a little upset when Wisconsin loses.
I'll tell you this. I won't be upset if they lose in the first round of the Big Ten tournament, which, by the way, you should watch us. We're going to be streaming from Chili's. That the schedule gods graced us with that. So we have, I think it's 1:30 Eastern. No, 1:30 Central Time, I believe, is when Wisconsin will tip against the winner of Maryland-Rutgers. We'll be live streaming it. If they lose that game, there will be no hope, and I will have no, like, that will be full get it over with. Because then it's like they're as bad as I think they are right now. But and we also might have to put Pug on that stream. Seton Hall might be playing.
Yeah.
Is Pug ready for the world?
Is Pug ready for prime time?
Dude, no, Hank's saying no.
No, I was watching the game with Pug's just he's a nice Pug. But I was watching
the best Pug.
Villanova Creighton with him, and I was trying to fire him up and trying to get him fired up on Max. He's just too nice.
I feel like Pug is like his best.
He's like the anti-Max with his. He's a normal fan, not over the top.
I like the idea also that it's like choose your own adventure behind the scenes with Pug. If you're a listener of this show, you get to imagine Pug and what he would be like watching sports. And I don't want to take that away from people.
Ooh, could we maybe get like a microphone set up behind? Like he could hold a microphone behind the cameras. He could just be like,
"Let's go,
good shot, Pug."
Yeah, that I like a lot. I like that a lot.
All right, we'll get that set up.
He's like the Wizard of Oz, but the man behind the curtain.
Go Pirates, Pug.
Damn it, Pug.
Pug. Yeah, just over and over, Pug.
Does anybody know where the tradition of cutting down the nets started?
Probably by Jim Nance.
Yeah.
He started every March.
I know it used to be sponsored by Werner, the official ladder of the NCAA, but 1947, NC State won the Southern Conference Championship, and Wolfpack coach Everett Case had his players hoist them up so he could cut down the net to keep as a souvenir.
Do you remember the first time that you were like, that's so cool that they have cut down the nets, like as a kid?
Yeah.
When was it?
It was actually Duke when Duke won the Natty in like 1991, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. I'm like, that's awesome. I want to cut down a net.
Fun
story. I won a basketball game when I was like 6 years old where there were probably no rules and actually probably nobody actually won that game. And then I asked my coach if we could cut down the net. And he said no, they need it for the next game.
I cut down the net 2019 America East Championship when Vermont won.
Oh, they let you cut down the net?
I'll send you guys a picture.
I remember
it's crazy.
It was when Syracuse made the Final Four in 95-96 season, and John Wallace got off the bus with the net in his head, like dangling out of his hat.
That's cool.
And I was like, that's fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like that rocks.
Jake, isn't that a bit unprofessional though? Like as a journalist,
if you're
you should not be
team,
cutting down the net.
You're a traveling member of the team. I think it's valid. Think about it. They get rings.
I don't know.
Like, where is that net?
It's in my house in Florida somewhere.
You don't know?
I don't know exactly.
Holy shit. Come on, Jake.
But no, think about it. The voices of the teams, like they get rings.
I don't know. You're journalists.
No, that's a different.
No, they're
level.
the hometown voice. So
yeah,
they get to be. It's like Hawk Harrelson.
It's not like Jim Nance is cutting down the net for CBS.
Yeah, I bet you he's tried.
He's definitely.
Wait, is this? No, last year was his last fight.
Yeah, no Jim
This
Nance.
is it.
Yeah.
So who do we have?
Iron Eagle next up.
We get Iron Eagle.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And
Let's.
Noah's probably going to do the NIT.
No. He's NBC.
Oh,
Oh,
come on,
okay.
PFT.
Of course.
How
My
could you?
I screwed up my networks.
How could you? By the way, this show is brought to you by Uber Eats. Big announcement. Did you know that you can get almost anything from Uber Eats? And no, I'm not just talking about food from your favorite restaurant. Uber Eats has a full range of delivery capabilities beyond just restaurant food, like groceries, convenience, and alcohol. Whether you need ice cream, batteries, 2 sodas, or paper towels, or maybe all 4, Uber Eats can deliver almost anything. Get grocery, alcohol, and everyday essentials in addition to the restaurant food you love. So in other words, get almost anything with Uber Eats. Order now. For alcohol, you must be legal drinking age. Please enjoy responsibly. Product availability varies by region. See app for details. I forgot to mention, too, so the Chili's stream we're going to be doing on Thursday, and then tomorrow we're finally doing it, the pancake bet, 5 o'clock Central. We will be going into the Gambling Cave. You can watch it on all of our channels. We'll be live for the entire night slate, and we will be not leaving until Memes finishes his pancakes, right? Unless someone is so bad that Memes laps him.
Yeah.
Memes has to do 24.
So I have 12. Big Cat, you have 6. Hank?
Light work.
0.
Remember? Comedy. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
It's a
So
wash.
Memes, you don't strike me as much of an eater.
I can eat.
Oh.
Are you going to lap somebody?
I've been watching Matt Stoney videos of him
Okay.
eating
Legend.
pancakes. He ate like
met him once.
118 in 8 minutes.
I'm a little worried, though, Memes, because
He might be the GOAT.
Matt Stoney.
Joey Chestnut is the hot dog GOAT, but Stoney's career across multiple foods is undeniable.
Okay. I am not very familiar with Matt Stoney's work.
I went to a cake eating competition with Caleb once.
Oh, yeah?
And he ate
What was that like?
a lot of cake in like a strip mall.
I love it.
There
They're
was
always in the worst
maybe
spots.
maybe 50 people watching.
Yeah, they're always in the worst spots. I'm a little worried, though, because I have been sensing, and this is just a little bit of a feeling. Whoa. Hey,
You're right,
Hank?
Hank?
water go down?
Yeah, drinking problem?
There's water.
Matt Stoney would pound that water. Memes has lost a little bit of the dog in him, so I'm worried about this pancake stream for him.
Why
He
do you
doesn't
think
have
that?
as much dog.
You don't think? Why not?
Just based off pickup basketball, I was screaming at him on Friday. We were on the same team, and he just wasn't. He was so passive. And I was like, you're fucking good at basketball, dude. Shoot. Go to the hoop.
Mhm.
He just was like, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. And I looked in his eyes, and he had no dog left.
I think Memes might be the most underrated, unexpected athlete of all time.
He's got a great Euro step.
Yeah.
Memes, what would you say to the people saying you don't have dog left in you?
I'd say watch the stream.
Oh,
Okay.
calling him out.
I'm just going to pound some pancakes.
How many?
Yeah.
Bring the haters
how many
on.
hours? Set it over under.
Are you going to beat Max?
Maybe.
Yes.
How many hours?
I'm going to set 3 hours.
What? So in 3 hours
21?
you're going to eat 21 pancakes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm watching my calories, so I wouldn't hate taking the 6 hours. Get as little.
Well, that doesn't make it. Well,
Yes,
I
it
guess
does.
you eat less. Yeah. Well, that's kind of a pussy way to do it.
I'm trying to get strong. People
Max-
around here are pissed about it.
Max was in the gym crew this morning. I saw him 8 a.m.
Oh, really?
Yeah. KB's teaching him how to lift.
I
weights.
love that. Are we doing Olympic style?
I don't know.
KB was teaching him how to bench press.
That's not
He was-
true.
I watched.
That's
it.
not
He
true.
was teaching him how to
We didn't even
press.
bench. We didn't even bench this morning. We benched yesterday.
Oh, 2 days in a row. Fuck yes.
Yeah. No, I
Love
mean,
that.
I got my fit. No free ads. Jason Kelsey said that he was doing My Fitness Pal and counting calories, so that's kind of why I decided to do.
Oh,
it
that's
also.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I did that once. for
That's
like 2
great.
weeks.
That's
Yeah.
great. Hank, how's dunking going?
It's good. I'm basically started this week or last week.
You
Right, you basically started this week or last week.
What does basically started mean?
I have a program, and I ordered a bunch of equipment. Some of it's here, not all of it's here. So not everything on the program I can do, but I've been going through
Basically
the motion.
starting.
A lot of jump rope. I'm talking to a trainer next week to get my baseline and what my vertical is.
Corey G?
I'm talking to Corey G, but I think we're getting help from Optimum Nutrition people.
Oh, okay, nice. Will we give the ad money back when you can't dunk?
No.
We should probably write that in the contract because I don't want to sell them something that is not going to happen.
I even forget what the terms of the bets were. Like, how much money do you owe?
It doesn't matter. He's not going to dunk.
It's like 2,000 if I do it, 800 if I lose.
That's not right. That's not it at all.
Something like that.
I'm pretty sure it's 10 and 5. 10K and 5K?
I think it might be 20.
20 and 10? No.
Yeah,
no.
it might be 20 and 10.
It's 20 and 8.
But he could hit all the threes. He could hit 25 threes in a row.
That's true.
Tune into PMTV this week.
Don't tune in.
Hank and I have a very bad visual.
Don't
coming.
tune in.
Turns out
Don't tune
we're not in shape, and we probably wouldn't last long. Oh, fuck. I was going to say we wouldn't last long on a Rick Pitino team.
No, we can't say that.
Damn it. Damn it. Oh, the stalker did text me. Just an update. People were wondering what happened. Let's see. Stalker. He said, "Congratulations, you went over my head and right to the big guy. Don't think this is over between us. You glossed over the horrible things you said and hurt my relationship with Coach. It's personal now. You claim to come clean, but were your typical coward self. TikTok.
TikTok. Come clean. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to say it.
He said it. We didn't.
I'm not going to say it. This guy sounds like he's a Pitino hater.
A little bit.
He's like setting us up for these jokes. Guess what? Come clean, TikTok. I'm not going to go there.
We're not going to fall for it, buddy.
We're Rick Pitino's guys, and you know what? If this guy wants us to meet somewhere, because I'd like to settle his hash for apparently going against Coach.
Yeah.
This guy sounds like he's a hater.
Yeah. I agree.
How about that?
Hank, you want to give us your final Patriot, number 7? And it's the end of the Dynasty documentary this Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be it. The Bill Belichick hit piece. It's got to finish in a certain way. Like, it's going to finish just terrible for Bill Belichick.
My guess is that they're going to start by showing 2 minutes of the Rams Super Bowl, maybe less.
It was very boring.
It's going to be like, oh, we won another Super Bowl, and then just go into drama, which is, again,
the breakup.
Kind of ridiculous, but it'll be very breakup focused.
I want to know what the Malcolm Butler thing is, or whatever decision that it says, like Belichick divides the locker room with a questionable decision.
Oh yeah, because I guess so that is the next game. So
yeah,
it'll be
a
focus. It'll be way more time will be spent on the Eagles' loss than the
That's
Rams
great,
win,
Max.
which is nonsense. Brady had one of the best Super Bowl performances of all time, so I'm sure they'll highlight that.
In which game?
So that's what they're gonna do.
He did.
Brady he had like
yards.
500 yards.
How did Nick Foles do in that game?
And also, Nick Foles caught a pass. Brady didn't.
But they're going to basically say that Brady played
That's
out
facts.
of his mind. He had an unbelievable performance.
Except for catching
the reason
the
they
pass.
lost is because Belichick benched Malcolm Butler, which
That
might
is
be
what
true.
they're gonna do.
And he fumbled.
And he fumbled.
But they're not. They're going to focus. Listen, Max, you're not listening.
Yeah, listen, Max.
They're gonna shape the documentary like Brady played out of his mind. The Patriots lost because of Belichick. Then they're gonna be like, and we won a Super Bowl the next year, and then it's gonna be all drama.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched a single one of these. I will probably tune into that one.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
You got to. So, Hank, we're going to do 7 right now, so your 10 will be complete. And then they actually release these documentaries, I think, Thursday nights. We're going to be here late Thursday night. So, Friday we'll start the post-documentary top 10.
Okay.
We're done with this.
Like we should do.
Don't worry, AWLs. This is it.
We should do.
done.
We should do one where it's like Hank's biggest mistakes, leaving these people out.
All right. Go ahead, Hank.
Adam Vinatieri.
Oh.
Yeah, this was the one. I said, after watching it, I wish I probably would have changed some things. But he was, won the Raiders game, won 2 Super Bowls, most clutch kicker of all time. But if he doesn't go in the Hall of Fame as a Patriot, then that changes everything.
So
Yeah,
I got
it would feel
pushback.
personal.
I got pushback from that just because there was a Colts fan who was like, he played more games for the Colts, and he hit he broke the record with the Colts. But if you think about why Adam Vinatieri's getting into the Super Bowl, obviously his longevity is incredible, 3 Super Bowls, all that. It's the Raiders kick and the Rams kick.
Yeah.
Those are the kicks.
Yeah. And he had a game winner against the Panthers.
Right.
Yeah, game winner against the Panthers, and I think he had 2 kicks against the Raiders, right?
Yeah, to go into overtime and in overtime.
And to
Right.
win it. Yeah, he's got the more iconic moments, but then the way that he was talking, like he might be the one that
He hates him, yeah.
He might have given the football. He might have told the Colts, if you get your hands on a football, keep it and measure the air pressure.
Yeah, it seemed that way.
Yeah.
It seemed that way.
So
Okay.
you got a rat on your list.
Yeah, I would change it if I could, but the list has been locked in for before I watched an episode of the documentary.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we'll get the
Man of
list.
integrity.
Honorable mention. Last honorable mention.
Matthew Slater.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Give
Fair.
a little shout out. Okay. Good
But
job, Hank.
before we do hot seat, cool throne, I feel like we should talk about this now. I let you guys know like a week and a half ago that this was a possibility, and it seems like the New York Times is about to report on it. So I wanted to scoop the New York Times. So I just tweeted, or excuse me, my dead dog Leroy just tweeted it out. Aaron Rodgers might run for vice president.
I still don't understand. When you told it to me
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago, I processed it, and then I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying I still just don't understand it.
It's going to be hilarious if it does happen.
But how?
There's no way.
How? How?
He's being considered and is considering the opportunity right now.
So the answer is he won't.
So the second
But
the
he
story breaks, he will say he's not doing it.
He just
I don't
wants
know.
he just wants people to think he wants it to be known that he was considered.
Maybe, but I'm allowing my mind to go further down the rabbit hole and think about how funny it would be.
But he's going to play
That's
football.
The PFT in you.
Yeah,
if he has to leave practice to like attend a debate, or if he has to miss like the AFC Championship game because he's getting inaugurated.
But he wouldn't do that. He would play football.
Probably, yes.
That's the part that just like he just wants everyone to know that he was being considered is what it boils down to.
What if he quits football?
I don't
To do
think he's
that.
quitting football.
Meme said no.
Yeah, I mean,
He's got unfinished business.
Yeah, I mean, he almost quit for Jeopardy.
But he wouldn't quit football for a bid at vice president that will never win in a million years.
He doesn't think that.
I think he has at least a little sense.
What are
Like,
the
it's not-
what would be the chances?
I'll just say I would consider
like 0.00001%.
Didn't they say that about Trump?
I
Like
would-
when he first.
This is not. He's not in one of the parties. We don't have. He's,
Are-
RKK is not a party.
no, he's
RKK.
RKK. He's going to be an independent.
Yeah, he's not
I
right.
wish that there was
What's
a
his middle
chance.
name?
I
F.
wish there was a chance that we'd have 3 parties, but we don't. It sucks.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any parties.
The
at
Green
all.
Party.
Ralph Nader.
I think he's running on independent, and it would be. I'm considering voting for RFK Jr. and Aaron Rodgers just because it would make this show so much better. It would be so awesome if all next football season, Aaron was like attending campaign rallies and shit, skipping
Your
practices.
brain is gone on this.
I thought RFK was a factor.
What would you say the chances are, PFT? You
They
know
talk
this
about him
more
all the
than me.
time.
It's got to be
of him winning.
Yeah.
0. He's not going to win.
yeah. It's a
It's a two-party
independent
system.
gets nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They get nothing. They get diddly shit.
The real question would be, who would he take more votes away from?
Right.
Would he take more
I
votes
don't-
away from Trump?
I
or
don't
from
know,
Biden?
but whoever it's basically you just get to complain with either side.
Why doesn't
Yeah.
he just squat up with the Repubbies?
because Trump's running,
So
so
Oh,
you
so
can't
that's
have
who they're
two.
gonna-
You
Got
can't
it,
have
got
two
it.
presidents.
can't have two.
Two presidents. You
So
don't have
actually,
one.
like voting for RFK, Aaron Rodgers potentially would be interesting because then you could just complain no matter what happened. You'd
Right.
be like, I didn't vote for either one of these guys.
yeah, I voted for the quarterback.
Yeah,
I just don't think he's going to quit football. But then I do think it would crush memes. Memes would lose all his dog.
yeah, that would be so fun.
That would be
Like-
be the old Yeller moment for memes.
That would be like beyond the pale for Jets fans.
imagine
We
him
finally
running
have
up
a
to
quarterback.
debate with a flag.
Yeah, now I'm actually
Yeah.
believing
Out of the
it.
tunnel.
Now I'm actually
Yeah.
believing it just because of the Jets factor.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
the final boss for Jets sadness. It's like we finally got our quarterback. Oh shit, he hurt his foot in the first like 5 minutes of a game. That's okay. He's coming back next year. We finally have our quarterback. Oh shit, he's running for vice president.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Jets factor does make this a reason that it could happen.
You can't see like a Rodgers press conference where he gets like super serious and he's like, at the end of the day, this is just football. I have a chance to like change
Yeah, no,
the world.
I'm changing my tune just because I
Yeah.
forgot the Jets part. The Jets part, like Jets are in search of eternal sadness, and this would be the funniest story arc. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Who knows if it's true or if it's actually going to happen? But I was just told that the New York Times is about to do it, so fuck them. I'm going to do it first.
Keep sports out of politics.
Keep politics out of sports.
No.
Oh yeah, sports.
Keep sports out of politics.
Stick to politics.
Yeah, right.
What if the New York Times doesn't report this?
Well, then we did.
Then we
All
did.
right.
Then we mega scooped them.
Whoops. All right, let's do hot seat, cool throw, and then we'll get to both of our interviews. Hot Seat Cool Throne brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. From day-to-day annoyances to the big stuff life throws your way, it's easy to get worked up, but there's a better way, a chiller way. Turn that canceled concert into a parking lot dance party. Too cold for an ocean swim. Play volleyball and light a bonfire instead. That's choosing chill. And when you choose chill, reach for a Coors Light. When the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. When you choose to rise above it all, choose chill, choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. CoorsLight.com/take. Hank.
My hot seat is spelling.
Uh-oh.
Kobe Bryant.
Oh, yeah.
Statue honoring his 81-point game. It has on the statue engraved basically like the lineups and the, player stats and stuff, minutes, points, assists, everything. They spelled Vom Wafer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
They spelled Jose Calderon, Jose Calderson.
Mm-hmm.
And they had two players that did not play for coach's decision. One spelled decision correctly, and then directly underneath it, they spelled decision DECICION.
It was
on the statue engraved forever.
Yeah, the minute I saw
Vom Wafer.
I was like, it would be as if Hank or Bubba had made this statue.
Yeah.
That was what it was.
Yeah.
They entrusted one guy and no one read it over it. When I used to send you or Bubba a synopsis or like anything, and we would just fuck up and like write a guest name wrong, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it was very relatable reading it where it's like, oh, if basically
did you not notice that there was a mistake?
Well, it's circled the
that would be funny if
pictures
I don't see a problem.
Jose Calderson would have been the one that really stood out to me.
Yeah.
Vom Wafer with an M is.
And also, yeah, I mean ref decision with the 2 C's.
It sounds like this guy just texted it to the engraver and then just got it all fucked up. Yeah.
I mean, my biggest thing has always been the if the red line doesn't pop up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I spell things, and that's also.
But your
I do it a lot. I do it a lot where I and now technology has probably made me dumber. But I don't know how to spell restaurant. I just try and get it close. But then if the suggested thing doesn't show up, I'm fucked.
Yeah, that's an impossible one too. Restaurant. Nobody has ever spelled it correctly on the first try.
You can't spell. You're so bad at spelling that the computer can't figure it out.
Right.
That's great. The computer's like, we're trying to help you, dude. We were built to help you, but we can't help you.
Yeah, suggested nothing.
That does happen to me every now and then where it's like you got a long word and you're just like, give me some fucking help, computer. All right, that's bad. Okay.
Then my cool throne is Chicago. We talked about it earlier. I know, everyone listening to this, different settings, different weathers, different places. But I just want to say that the number one, pretty much every single conversation I had with anyone that I talked to in the months leading up to moving to Chicago, was like, I'm moving to Chicago. They say, Chicago's great. The winters are terrible. Like, oh, man, good luck with the winters. Oh, I would love to live in Chicago, but the winters I couldn't do.
You're just tempting this for next winter. And also, we're not out of it
It's 70 degrees outside.
I understand.
It is 70 degrees. Me and PFT played golf a month ago.
I understand, but first of all, we're not.
And Jake.
Like, we could still get snow. We're not done. And second of all, why wouldn't you just? It's like a no-hitter. It's like a perfect game. Why wouldn't you just let it go?
It's El Nino too.
Just let it go.
So El Nino's not going to be here next
winter. We're gonna flash forward to this time, and it's gonna be like a month of 0 degrees. You'll be like, whoops.
Yeah, but I'm going to be driving.
Why would you do that?
I'm going to be driving a gas car, so global warming is going to really kick in next year.
You spit in the face.
No, I don't know.
It's been incredible. There was 4 bad days, and 2 of them had playoff football on.
And I was in Dallas for all those days.
Oh yeah,
I came back and it was over.
Yeah.
So I've experienced, I lived in Massachusetts, New Hampshire. Those were way worse. It's more, people that are. I'm not scared of the winter here. That's my point.
Just put this on a clip card.
Again, it's El Nino. There's like a documented reason why this winter has been awesome.
Hank doesn't believe in weather. That's a fact.
I can only speak from experience.
Hank does
and my
not
experience
believe in weather.
in Chicago this winter has been delightful.
It has been incredible. It's been an incredible winter. All right, PFT.
My hot seat is Sydney Sweeney's boobs.
Yeah.
On the hot seat firmly, Slate wrote an article about her boobs yesterday. Max, this will be a note for you, pervert. The headline was, "It needs to be said, Sydney Sweeney's boobs are not that big." And right now, as we speak, it's got an all-time community notes on it. The community notes just reads, Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And it's a link to her Instagram page.
Love that.
So Slate spent like 2,000 words talking about how they're actually not that big in the global scale of things. I don't care. Let us enjoy things, Slate.
Yeah.
Let us enjoy it. We weren't harming anyone. This was fun. We were all enjoying a good piece of anatomy, and then they have to get in and mansplain to us.
In the history of the internet, this has to be the number one lamest well actually of all time.
It probably is.
Like, there's someone sitting in Slate, and they're like, well, actually, fucking Sweden has bigger boobs. Shut the fuck up.
I think in the article it said there were 34 double Ds. Which
That
I guess
seems big.
I guess you just have like publicly available stats of boobs now on celebrities.
That also seems big.
It's like we all know KD is 6'10". Everyone knows Sydney Sweeney is a 34 double D.
Sure.
And they're like, well, lots of women have bra sizes and cup sizes that are in the 34 double G category. I don't care. Sydney Sweeney's got nice boobs.
That's
Let us say that
Slate,
Sydney
you
Sweeney
suck.
has nice boobs.
Slate sucks. Put a note on Slate. We're gonna give him a takey. For
Worst take.
Worst well actually of all time.
Yeah, but maybe the best actually
Like
to them.
notes.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Nuh-huh. And then my cool throne, I've got a couple on my cool throne. Cool throne is the players. The players is back. Sawgrass is back.
Oh.
It's the players this week, and I don't know. I feel like they might actually be on the hot seat because it feels like Scotty Scheffler. Feels like Scheffler season with a new putter. But I'm going to enjoy watching the Players Championship this week.
Okay.
Going to be good.
It's awesome because
I mean, it's
any
impossible
player,
to watch this weekend.
No,
I agree.
It's
a
not
bunch
impossible.
of TVs with a bunch of TVs. You
yeah,
can.
you get one on the golf.
Also mornings.
There's not going to be one on the golf.
Wait, but
on
mornings.
Friday. Definitely not one on the golf on Friday. Probably not one on the golf on Saturday.
Mornings.
Maybe one on the golf on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday's good because there's
Yeah,
that little
there's
bit
like
of
5
lull
minutes.
until
Yeah.
selection
But definitely
Sunday.
no golf Friday or Saturday.
PFT also.
I wish it was a different weekend. I was thinking that today. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, oh, players, and I was like, I'm not
it's
going to
conference
watch any of
championship
this.
weekend. That's
awesome
all I care
because
about.
Any player who doesn't birdie 17, you can be like,
I got him.
Couldn't
I got
be
him
me.
right where I want him.
yeah.
Couldn't be me. Not at all. Well, we talked to Pete Prisco about that. Maybe a little asterisk on the couldn't be me.
I have something for that. So that was my hot seat. I know you have another cool throne, but real quick because it's golf related. Jay Moynihan talked to the world today for the first time in a long time. And he's on the hot seat because this is maybe the funniest non-answer to a very pointed question. I'm going to play it for you. Let me get it up. Here it is.
Hi, Jay. At any point over the last 9 months, have any of the player directors on the policy board called on you or any of the independent directors on that board to resign?
You know, there's been a lot of good-spirited debate amongst our board. I don't think
That's the most obvious. Yes,
Yeah,
everyone
well-
has asked for my job.
Yeah, I'm not fucking leaving.
Does anyone want you fired? You know, we've had a really good time just chopping it up.
We've talked about it.
Disagree a lot.
There's been a wide variety of opinions on that very subject.
Yeah.
I have one, and everyone else has a different opinion.
Yeah.
But it's spirited debate.
Yeah.
That's what
spirited
this country is built on.
Spirited debate. What was your other cool throne?
My other cool throne is Boeing. Boeing's on the cool throne because the whistleblower against Boeing just offed himself in a car mysteriously before giving testimony.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That's bad.
It's
How
bad.
does that keep happening?
It's bad for Boeing. They're being investigated by the Department of Justice. We gave you the tip on Part of My Take like 2 months ago. Don't fly on a Boeing. I've flown on like 6 Boeings since then.
I don't even know how to look up what I'm flying on.
Yeah, but Boeing's in bad shape.
It's Ask 15.
They got people behind the scenes.
He doesn't know.
I know exactly which plane's a Boeing. If it's
That's a little two-man weave right there.
if it caught on fire, then it's a Boeing. If it's not, then it's an Airbus.
Got it.
But yeah, they're being investigated big time. There's behind-the-scenes videos of people that work at Boeing being like, yeah, you know, like most of the planes I don't really check that well. Walls are closing in for Boeing right
Yikes. Not good.
now. But yeah, good thing that this guy just offed himself because they might skate on this one.
Yeah. All right. My hot seats is the Yankees, the Jankies. Aaron Judge already has an MRI on his stomach.
On his abs. I was thinking about that, like getting an MRI on your abs. That's kind of a flex just to say they were
have
able to do an MRI on my abs.
Yeah, but that's Aaron Judge being hurt.
Also, Garrett Cole.
What happened to him?
He's getting evaluated as well.
All right. So the Yankees
Not
are in the
great.
hot seat. They're fucked. Yeah, that's never good. Spring training
No.
is like you just want spring training to happen without ever realizing it's happening. And then opening day happens. And you're like, everyone survived.
They took the Mets role. So at least if you're a New York Mets fan, you can be like, it's the Yankees now.
Yeah.
They're injured.
It's the Yankees. All right, my cool turn, I got 2. One is Stella Blue mugs. We got new mugs out, StellaBlueCoffee.com. If you see this one, see this? It's Max, but he's sad, and it says, my bracket is busted. We got the make your free throws, just cover. Great new mugs. Go buy some coffee. You need the coffee. You need the mugs for March Madness. So StellaBlueCoffee.com. My other one is intern season. So we are going to possibly be hiring a new intern, and I really want a Cowboys fan. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we've been talking.
I want a diehard Cowboys
We've been talking about this for a while. What's the missing piece of the show? Hank kind of is a Cowboys fan, but like you don't have that same fire. You don't have that same true belief.
Yeah.
Like it's already been beaten.
I mean, I made a bet 2 years ago, and you guys just pigeonholed me.
Well, and then you dated
Cowboys
Tiffany
fan.
Gomez.
That
was a coincidence.
You got so despondent over one bad Cowboys loss that there's no chance that you're a true Cowboys fan, because a real Cowboys fan would be like, doesn't matter next year.
Yeah,
next year we're back.
But I would love a Dallas, maybe SEC. He went to an SEC schools. We get a little of that. Someone who just really, maybe like small. So
yeah,
he can like be
very
like
small.
We can get like a Timon and Pumbaa thing going with Max.
Yeah, it'd be good also if he was
Jaja Tuve.
if he or she just went to, like, they didn't go to college. They're just nothing but Cowboys.
Yeah, maybe Cowboys in Alabama.
Cowboys, Bama,
yeah.
Lakers.
Either way, we are looking for an intern. So
for the
Cowboys
summer.
fan for the summer. Jake, your hot seat, cool throne.
My hot seat is Novak Djokovic.
Yeah.
He
doesn't
had
count. Not a real
stunning
tournament.
loss at Indian Wells, which some call the 5th major. He was minus
me.
5,000 #DK partner and lost to Luca Nardi. And then afterwards, he kind of coached Kadem at the net. I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah,
What?
he did.
He
a little bit.
He told him that he's a good player and told him he's got great stuff going on.
Not exactly.
What'd he say?
He was complaining that there should have been hindrance, and that
Well, should there have been?
it wasn't called.
But there should have been.
I don't know.
Okay,
That's
what
for
the
you to
fuck is
decide.
hindrance?
Hindrance is when you stop up, like Nardi hit the shot and then acted like the point was done. So Novak.
That's fucking hindrance.
You should be allowed
Go
to
look
do
at the
that.
tape.
But it's not in the rules.
It's the okie doke.
It's not in the rules.
Like pretending that the ball went out and
So-
then hitting it back. I like that move.
So you're saying that Djokovic is on the hot seat for losing even though the other guy cheated? Doesn't make sense to
well,
me.
it's not only that he lost, but also wasn't the other guy a lucky loser?
Yeah,
He shouldn't have
literally
even-
called a lucky loser.
He shouldn't
like,
even be in the tournament.
qualify last minute.
Okay, so and guess what? He doesn't know how to play tennis. He was doing hindrances.
Also, apparently Novak complained in Italian. This is according to Hubs.
Yeah, because
said,
he can speak multiple
quote,
languages.
It's not fair, but well done.
He can speak. Hubs speaks Italian?
No, apparently Novak said that.
Yeah, but you say according to Hubs,
Well, he reported it. So I'm
and
saying.
Hubs speaks Italian?
Sure.
I don't think so.
So he said it's
I'm
illegal.
poking holes through this whole fucking thing.
He said it's illegal, but good job.
He played
It's not fair, but well done.
He played a Joe Schmo off the streets that he shouldn't even been playing, who was cheating, and
Non
then
y
the
gusto
and
pero
now
bravo.
and now we're judging a guy who can speak, who's bilingual, probably more than bilingual.
Saying,
Bis too,
this is
right?
this is a tough loss. Minus 5,000 #DK partner. You rarely see that.
Who cares? It's tennis in March. Who cares? He's
deal.
probably wanted to watch conference tournament week.
Probably.
If we're being honest, that was smart by the Joker.
Yeah. My cool throne is Trace Jackson Davis. He somehow posterized Wembanyama last night. Did you guys see this?
Yes. I don't know if that's – I feel like everyone gets postered at some point.
But Wemby.
Yeah. No, I know.
It wasn't just the posterization. It was the announcer afterwards where he goes, he just put the entire nation of France into the basket.
Oof.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. I'm going to watch it. I feel like posters – guys are just so fucking good now that –
But you rarely see a 7.
Yeah, no, that one's worth it. And it was probably his first poster, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
They're both rookies.
Okay, so 1 minute ago in the New York Times, RFK Jr. has recently approached the NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers and former Minnesota governor and professional
But he
wrestler
didn't dunk the ball.
Jesse Ventura about serving as his running mate. Mr. Kennedy confirmed on Tuesday that the two men were at the top of his list.
So
This is a layup.
So this is
poster.
Rodgers. Rodgers doesn't. We're
True.
having two conversations at the same time. Yeah.
Wait, so what I heard, half heard was
It's exactly
they've
what
had
I
a
said.
conversation like
Yeah, he.
drunk. Hey, bro, be my
RFK
VP.
wants it to be known that he likes Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers probably is like, yeah, you can say that you're going to ask me. I just don't know how it would work.
Mr. Kennedy said that he had been speaking with Mr. Rodgers pretty continuously for the past month. So it sounds like there's mutual interest there.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Well, actually, no, the Jets. It is. Yeah, he's his running mate. That's facts. You're right.
He
had it first.
No.
Leroy had it first. You told me first.
No, Leroy told me to tell you first.
Got it. And you did have it like 2 weeks ago.
Please credit Leroy.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to our interviews. Let's do Johnny Fanta, and then we got Pete Prisco talking some NFL. PFT, you got a quick word from one of our sponsors.
Yes, before we get to Johnny Fanta, he's brought to you by Sport Clips. Your hair might grow fast, but after going to Sport Clips haircuts, you wish that it grew even faster. That's because Sport Clips has the best seats and hair. That may or may not be because they happen to be right in front of TVs playing sports all day, every day. We know that watching sports while getting a haircut sure beats watching your reflection get a haircut, which is why at Sport Clips, every day is clippers and curveballs, high tops and Hail Marys, even waves and wickets if you're into that sort of thing. At Sport Clips, you can check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. So yeah, come watch an endless stream of sports on TV while getting an awesome haircut. Sport Clips, it's a game changer. And now, here's Johnny Fanta.
Okay, we now welcome on our very good friend. It is Johnny Fanta, the man, the myth, the legend. You can find him on doing the Big East, covering the Big East tournament in New York all week. By the way, Johnny Fanta, I have to just say, we did a Rick Pitino stamina shooting drill 2 seconds ago, so that's why my brain is a little flustered and I look like I'm breathing heavy and I'm sweating. But you are the best. You cover all college basketball, but the Big East is your thing. We're going to talk all the college tournaments, conference championship this week. But I want to start with the Big East, your bread and butter. UConn, anyone beating them?
Man, I want to say no. And last year, remember, we all were ahead of the curve here, right here on PMT. We said UConn could be that team that makes that run.
Yes.
Credit to us.
But exactly, credit to you guys. But for the sake of being different, let's go through the potential roadmap here this week of the Big East tournament. For the record, Connecticut, in my eyes, is the best team in the country. They're the front runner for the national championship, and they should be. You know, the three losses are at Kansas, to Seton Hall. Klingon got hurt during the game, and then Creighton had another worldly shooting performance. But what's interesting about this Big East tournament is we could get Friday night at Madison Square Garden, UConn, provided they beat either Xavier or Butler, they will, I think. And then either St. John's or Seton Hall.
Ooh.
If it's Rick Pitino versus Dan Hurley Friday night at the Garden, that's
must watch. That's must watch. I like that. And we also have in the first round the Cooley Bowl part 3. Part 3. I know you're a friend of Ed Cooley, but Providence has floundered recently. Is Ed Cooley feel like, I mean, Georgetown's not been good this year. They don't have their guys, but there will be bad blood, and that's what the Big East tournament's about. So you got to be excited for another Cooley Bowl.
Well, Wednesday, yes, I am excited for another Cooley Bowl. I'm excited for Wednesday night because typically Wednesday at the Big East tournament involves a DePaul game, which Wednesday does. DePaul playing Villanova. That's not much. It's a crowd watching experience, like to the few people that wear DePaul gear. But it's Xavier and Butler. But then that Cooley Bowl's the headliner. Here's the thing: there has never been more vitriol. There's never been more of a sideshow with a coaching move in the history of college basketball, for my money, than there is with this one here. Because you got a Providence fan base that is so passionate for their Friars, that is all about, you got to be one of us, you're one of us, you're either for us or against us. And on the other side, you have a guy that, you know, that leaves for another school within the league. That's never happened. And his team's won 2 games, 2 Big East wins. But guys, everything tells me this is not just going to be another Georgetown type of game where they go down losing. This to me is going to provide drama on day one of the Big East tournament. Providence has to win. They have to win to stay alive. They're on the bubble. They're just on the outside looking in. They need 2 wins in the Big East tournament. What would it be If Georgetown spoils that for the Friars, Providence better win this game. Devin Carter's been the best player in the Big East all season. I expect him to will Providence to the finish line, get a date with Creighton, and that sets up an interesting Thursday night.
Yeah. I like it, though. I like the bad blood. It's good for the sport.
Good.
It's good for the league.
Yeah, it's always been good. Like, it's not supposed to be. That's the thing with Patino, and you guys had him on. Like, that's what makes the Big East what people like in college basketball. It's good to have some dislike. We're not supposed to be soft here. Okay, March is a time, like, here's the deal. No matter what side you fall on with LSU and South Carolina on Sunday, we were all talking about it.
Yep.
I'm okay with fighting. I'm okay with a little arguing. You're not supposed to like each other. Let's get after it here this March. I don't mind it. If I see a steel chair, we see a steel chair. Let's go.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. March is, it's for hard people. It's a hard month for hard people. Put your big boy pants on.
Yeah.
Speaking of big boys and pants, Max's Villanova Wildcats. Do you give them, how many games do they have to win to get an at-large bid?
Well, I'm a big boy, and I'll have pants on this week. And, Villanova, Max, I'm going to tell you right now, it's now or never here.
Yeah, I don't like your body language right now.
Yeah, I know. It's like, this is like the conversation between, dad and the kids when things haven't been going exactly right throughout the week. When you come home and, it's Wednesday and somehow the whole box of Snyder's pretzels is gone by Wednesday, but they did shopping for the whole week.
Mm-hmm.
And you're out of food in the pantry. So here's the deal, Max. It feels like your pantry's running low right now.
Yep.
Okay. So it's time for those pants to get expanded here and for Villanova to show that they've got something left in the tank. At the end of the day, for Villanova, you got to go out, you got to beat DePaul, and you got to show up Thursday against Marquette, who still very well could not have Tyler Kolek.
Yeah.
Kolek's got an oblique injury. If Kolek doesn't play, no excuses, Villanova. You better win this game, or there's going to have to be serious questions asked of this coaching staff off the season. This roster was worth a couple $1 million. $3 million roster. If they miss the NCAA tournament, that is an abject failure. Mm-hmm. They got to win on Thursday over Marquette, especially if Kolek doesn't play, guys. He's got an oblique injury. I think Marquette might hold on to him for the NCAA tournament. This season for Marquette was always about making a deep NCAA tournament run. Fun fact, Shaka Smart has not made it to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, guys, since VCU.
Really?
That's it.
Wow.
That's the only time he's ever made a run. So some would argue fade Marquette. Is Shaka going to be able to break through? He needs a healthy Kolek to do that. I don't see Kolek playing in this Big East tournament. That could change. He could decide I'm going to play and ride it out. If he does, that's tough for Villanova. But Nova better win 2 games in the Big East tournament.
2 games for
they
Bubba
have
Wash.
to win 2.
He threw down the gauntlet.
Well, because DePaul doesn't count as a win.
No.
No.
DePaul, I'm not sure what DePaul counts for right now.
He doesn't count for anything. Yeah.
I've been saying it all week. Gotta beat Marquette. I wish we were playing Creighton. I think we match up better against Creighton, but if Kolek's not, I thought Kolek was going to play, so I like you think.
I told you he wasn't,
the other way.
Max. Listen to me. I told you he wasn't going to play.
Did you guys ever, like, growing up as high school or college, like when you were that age, did you ever get swindled into one of those knives presentations?
Oh, Cutco.
I had some friends that did Cutco. I was more of a show up to a timeshare presentation, take the free tickets for Medieval Times, and then just leave.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
This particular season, playing DePaul is like a Cutco presentation.
Yeah. It's brutal. They're very, very bad. All right, so that's Big East. Tell me what conference tournament you're most excited for outside of Big East, because Big East is very thrilling because you not only have UConn, the best team in the country, but you also have Providence, St. John's, and Villanova all trying to get themselves off the bubble. But what conference tournament are you like, I can't wait to watch this when I'm done covering the Big East?
Yeah, I can't wait to watch the SEC.
Yeah.
Because I'm rooting for a Kentucky-Tennessee round 3.
Yes.
Okay, yep.
Yes.
Last year on this show was critical of Cal and said they give me Dallas Cowboys vibes in general. I think this is his best chance to now break through. And this can be the start of it. This week for Kentucky is big. You've got Reed Shepherd, the best freshman in college basketball. You've got Rob Dillingham. Antonio Reeves would be an All-American for me. Kentucky, this is your time. Big Blue Nation, you've been waiting for this. There are no excuses for John Calipari.
Yeah.
None.
I like
This
that.
is the week. I think this could set up an SEC final. We could get Auburn, South Carolina in this tournament. Lamont Paris is a National Coach of the Year candidate, has done a great job with the Gamecocks. Our guy, Bruce Pearl, he's probably going to have to go up against Tennessee in the semifinals. I mean, if he advances, that's who he's meeting. That would be quite the heavyweight fight. But I like Dalton Knecht. I think Knecht has a chance to be the face of March Madness with the way that he is going, with the way that he's scoring the basketball. We could get Kentucky, Alabama in the SEC semis, 1st to 100 wins. Alabama's not playing an ounce of defense, but I love it. I want Kentucky, Tennessee, round 3.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. That'd be good for the country to watch that. Is there any chance that Dalton Knecht gets National Player of the Year, or is that just Zach Edey?
Well, unfortunately for everybody else, not named Zach Edey, it was locked up the moment that he said he was coming back to college.
Yeah.
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 It's his productivity is just it's really not. You can't put it fully into perspective. Like, and whether it's fair or not, like you could call it lazy, but at the end of the day, we've never seen a guy at his size do what he's done at the college level. He is, get this, in my opinion. You guys, push back on me if you want. Jake, whoever, push back on me. I think Edey's dominance is the most over a span of time, these 2 years, since Tyler Hansbrough.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Doug McDermott was very good for a long time at Creighton, but that was, Missouri Valley the couple years. I love Jimmer Fredette.
Well, so yeah, because if you're dominant, you don't stick around for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't usually stay, multiple years and keep doing it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you might be right. You might be right.
John,
People forget, Hansborough was an All-American all 4 years of his college career. Like, there are not 4-year college All-Americans anymore. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Hansborough should have played for Duke. He just always gave me, he's got the Duke vibe to him.
Oh, I liked it, though, because he just beat them.
Yeah, it's like we got one of your own.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Hansborough hates Kentucky more than he hates Duke.
Ooh. Why?
He can't stand Big Blue Nation.
Okay.
I didn't expect that nugget, but that was a great nugget.
That's the meanest thing that he could possibly do to Duke.
Yeah, that's true.
I respect that. I think he actually does hate Duke more, but he has to say that he hates Kentucky more because he knows how much it's going to piss him off.
It's the Mad Men meme. I don't even think about you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, John, I want to talk more college hoops, but I don't know if the first time you came on the show we did a deep dive into the history behind John Fanta. And I'm just curious, when you were growing up, were you always a diehard college hoops fan, or were you a sports fan, and this is where you found your lane in broadcasting, or has it always been college hoops?
It's where I found my lane, which lane, now I do some bowling.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched you do bowling. It was electric.
Did you like it?
Yes. Absolutely. Anything you do, I'm in, Johnny Fanta. You know that.
I appreciate that, Dan. I appreciate that. I got to tell you what I love about bowling, 10 seconds. I could never believe how much booze is being drank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever try to bowl sober? It sucks.
Yeah. You're in a bowling alley. Yeah.
So how did I get caught on? Well, so I grew up on the west side of Cleveland and huge Cleveland sports fan. Still am. Browns, Indians, now Guardians, Cavs. When I'm 7 when LeBron's drafted. I remember when the Cavs won the lottery, but Browns. I mean, I'm a huge Browns fan. There's nothing like a Cleveland Browns Sunday than in Cleveland, Ohio. And this past season was just a miraculous season in which Flacco, the guy I hated growing up, leads us to heights I've never thought were possible, to a season that, sorry to your Bears. That's one of the more unbelievable Browns wins I've ever seen in my life. So between those teams, Jim Thome was my favorite athlete growing up.
Love that. He's a great trivia answer too.
Ton of dingers.
Yep.
Mashed the baseball out of Jacobs Field. And Tom Hamilton, Joe Tate, Jim Donovan, the voice of the Browns. Cleveland has great voices. So that inspired me. At the age of 6, I'm looking at these guys on TV. I'm like, they get to do that. I played high school football at St. Ignatius in Cleveland. I was a left guard. When the quarterback came into the huddle, I was on scout team. We were a bad varsity team, so I'm on the JV team. When my quarterback came in the huddle, he'd call the play 27-2, and I was a left guard, he would audible the 44-on-1. His life would flash before his eyes. I am responsible for 2 St. Ignatius quarterbacks separated shoulders. Got done. They still talk to me. Got done with sophomore year of high school football. I go into the coach's office. Guy by the name of Chuck Kyle won a ton of games, 11 state championships. And he looks at me and he says, I really like you as a person. He goes, you're a lot better at talking about the game than you are playing it. That was the best. That was the nicest. My parents were pissed. All right. They were not happy with that news when I came home. That was the best advice I could have gotten in high school because it got me to think, I just got to do everything I can to broadcast this sport. A year later, guys, it's 25 degrees at Fawcett Stadium in Canton where they play the Hall of Fame game. I'm in the press box in the warmth. Ignatius wins the state championship, and I'm on play-by-play instead of being on the end of the bench.
How about
That's
that?
awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah, and so you rolled with it. At first, were you like, I really want to keep playing football, or were you like, he's right, I'm glad I don't have to do this anymore?
He was right, and I was tired of running and getting my ass kicked.
Yeah,
I was getting my ass kicked. Airborne at practice. I couldn't block a soul. It was a turnstile. It's like that video where the guy's checking people into the game and left and right. That was me as a left guard.
That's a great story. I love it. And now look at you now. I mean, this has been.
You might be the most passionate man in sports media.
Yeah, you love the game.
I appreciate that. I mean, when you have stories like James Madison University, when you have a conference like the Mountain West, which I wanted to get to here, I wanted to shout out the Mountain West, who could send 6 teams to the NCAA tournament this year. I'm bullish on Nevada, Boise State, San Diego State can run this back. Isaiah Stevens is an All-American. That's the other conference tournament I'm excited about. But when you've got Rick Pitino in New York City, Dan Hurley's yelling at Providence fans like crazy. We got Purdue. Can they find redemption here? Like, this month is awesome, and I love being a part of it. I love being a part of it.
Did you buy it when Rick told us that he doesn't talk to the refs at all? Like, he said that he hadn't spoken to refs in, years, right?
Yeah.
Is that true, Johnny?
I'm not buying that one. How could that be true?
I don't know. The way he explained it, he was kind of talking to them without talking to them, where, he would just say things out loud. He's not like, hey, ref, you blew that call. He's more like talking to air, being like, these refs really got to do a better job, which I guess is kind of not talking to them.
Yeah, but it's like it's the word. I mean, it's smart because can you get teed up doing that?
Yeah, no, you're right. He's smart. He's learned the loophole here. That's actually a smart way to do it. You must be loving it though, because you mentioned Danny Hurley, who's a friend of this program, but the Big East, to become a true basketball conference again, they needed these characters as coaches, because I always think that college basketball, I love college basketball. I love it. But because of the turnover in rosters year to year, it's the characters in your coach that makes a program and that gets the rivalries going. And you have those guys now all in place.
It's the characters, it's the coach. And as the ACC tries to figure out Washington, D.C., or Greensboro, where should we the ACC's doing their conference tournament in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
The Big East, 42 years at Madison Square Garden. 42 years. It's an institution in New York. And I'm going to make this claim with these personalities, with Pitino, with Hurley. You're right, Dan. You're absolutely right in the throwback personalities. Like Sean Miller, he was unafraid a couple weeks ago. He's like, there's a tier system in the Big East, and I'm not in tier 1. So that should tell you who gets to be in tier 1, indirectly taking shots. Greg McDermott's one of the good guys, just gets extended at Creighton. Do you know how many places would like to be able to hire him? Shaka Smart's all fired and fueled up, and Kim English is feisty. Don't forget about Shaheen Holloway at Seton Hall. I think they could be a dark horse this week. He didn't at St. Peter's. He's got another team this year. But here's my thing. In a world where Greg Sankey, the SEC, and the Big Ten, frankly, are trying to say, we're going to take control of all this stuff. To me, the number one thing that's keeping all the football people from just saying basketball's ours, we're going to break it off too, we're just going to do our own tournament, is the Big East. Because if you don't involve the Big East in whatever you're doing, which is basketball only, they're not getting football shares, your tournament would be illegitimate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's because if UConn wins the title this year, that would mean the Big East would own 4 of the last 8 national titles in college basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. It's a great point. You made me think of something. Is the Big East talking at all about the fact that Shaka Smart is like literally playing defense on the court? Has anyone mentioned anything? Are they going to stop him? I'm okay if they don't want to stop him and they're just like, hey, this is what Shaka does. We're fine with it. But like, he's so close to the action.
It makes me think, should coaches be allowed to play 3 possessions of defense a game?
I love that.
Yes.
Just random 3 possessions.
Who would be the best defender in college basketball?
Shire would probably flop a lot.
Yeah. Shaka Smart would be, I mean, he'd be up there. Penny, you get Penny out there.
I think Will Wade. I think Will Wade could still bang with the best of them.
Yeah.
Well, Will Wade could make a strong-ass offer as they're coming up the court.
Yeah. Yeah, Juwan. I mean, we know Juwan wants to fight.
Good point.
So, yeah, he'd get involved.
5 fouls. You get 5. No, Shaka, I can report that the conference has done their part. You know, there was a message. Now, here's the thing: is that there was a message sent. Now, whether or not that's going to be translated here, he's still on the court.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what you do there other than maybe we implement a rule, where you can cash in like money in the bank that you can jump in for a possession or two if you want to play 6-on-5. But I don't know how you contain Shaka Smart.
No.
And when Big East Defensive Player of the Year came out, Ryan Kalkbrenner, 3-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. The only other 2 that can say that they got it 3 times, Patrick Ewing and Alonzo Mourning.
Wow.
A lot of people said Shaka Smart was robbed.
Yeah, he was. I think what needs to happen is I think a player needs to just set a pick on him. Because then it would be like, all right, we got a problem.
Or just shove him.
Yeah.
Just knock him over. I thought about it more. The answer to your question, which coach would you want playing defense, I think it would be either Bruce Pearl or maybe Kelvin Sampson because they would just sweat all over the floor.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't send like the mop guy out there because they wouldn't fall down, and they would just make it nice and lubed up so that all the offensive players would just trip. I think that would be great. But yeah, Shaka is out there. He's like going hand down, man down on defense. It's crazy.
The guy's energetic. What can I say? I still now I'm fully adjusted to Shaka Smart's hair.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten fully adjusted to that. Now, I mean, here's the deal. The NCAA tournament's stricter with the coaches on the floor. So, or at least I would think that they are. These officials, that's my one issue with this week versus next week. If I have one issue, the officials are going to call games differently next week because during the NCAA tournament, they're also trying to advance to the next round.
Right.
They get evaluated in every round. Things get tighter. These conference officials, they're capping off their conference season. They know these teams. The players know each other. They're going to let them play a little bit. That's why we see more and more whistles next week in the NCAAs. These guys are tight as can be.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that the refs were also trying to advance, too.
They got a job to do.
Yeah, they got a job to do.
Yeah.
Some refs are sent home.
They're reffing for their job. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a 16-over-1 for the officials, too.
I like that. So you mentioned the ACC. It does suck that it's not in Greensboro. That tournament should be in Greensboro every single year. It means so much more. It's like the tradition behind it, all the good teams from that area. It's the one thing that Greensboro still had going for it. Let them keep it. It's a great place. That and Stamey's Barbecue. 2 great things about Greensboro. But it should not be in D.C. Nobody cares about outside of Georgetown, which doesn't even play in the conference. D.C. is not a college basketball town. Like you got Maryland. Yeah, Maryland, they were nice 20 years ago. But besides that, it's like they don't really care as much. In North Carolina, basketball is like a way of life down there.
Yeah, it is. It should be in Greensboro. And also, it's going to be a Duke North Carolina final in all likelihood.
Yeah.
Like, guys, the ACC, Virginia's the 3. They might not even make the NCAA tournament.
I know. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Do you think so what was your take on the Duke, the John Shire apologizing, fans throwing stuff? Oh, we got to ask. You're pro court storming, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Good.
Thank you.
Good
All right,
man.
that was enough of court storming talk. Do we think John Shire, I know he's signing incredible classes. I think the 2025 class is like the best ever at Duke. But that was a tough loss for them. And it feels like, UNC's got their number a little bit right now.
UNC's got their number. They've got their number, and they think they've won 3 of the last 4 at Cameron Indoor.
Yeah.
But it's so weird that a coach is apologizing to students.
Yes.
Yeah. They're all weirdos and dorks. You can just say it. They are.
I mean, I just don't understand. Like, the notion that a coach is going to go up to undergraduate students who are going to class Monday to Friday have zero. At the end of the day, the only attachment that they have to your program is that they go to the school.
Yeah.
And you're going to go up and apologize to them? Don't go apologize to them. You want to apologize to people, apologize to the people who pay for your team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get the boosters on the phone.
Don't know the students anything. At the end of the day, here's the deal. All right. At Duke, John Shire, this second year, they've won 19 of their last 23 games. But how much of that is because they're playing in a league that frankly is weak and that could only stand, 4 teams to the NCAA tournament? They need to make the second weekend of this NCAA tournament. If they do not, where the measuring stick is at Duke, you've got to be able to make NCAA tournament runs. He's going to enter next year having real pressure on himself to make the second weekend. Because if you go 3 straight years and you have Cooper Fly coming in next year, who, guys, is otherworldly. I know you hate that Cooper Fly is going to be a Duke Blue Devil because he is such a fun player. But, the pressure's on here. They still have a really good team. They should make the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. But Carolina's got their number. Carolina, to me, is no question a top 5 team in college hoops, can get back to the national title game.
Oh, I like that.
I like that. So who can get to the national title game this year? I'm assuming you said UConn already, so we'll put them in there. UNC, and then you mentioned Kentucky.
Their defense stinks.
You got Kentucky over Tennessee.
They've been playing a little better though.
Yeah, I've got Tennessee. I would take Tennessee before I took Kentucky.
Okay.
I would. You know why Tennessee? Always known for their defensive ability. They've got Vescovi and Ziegler back. To me, though, now they've got a guy who can be a Doug McDermott, Jimmer Fredette type guy in Connect.
Yep.
Dalton Connect can be that type of figure for their team. Tennessee's bugaboo late in games in the past has been they don't have a guy to go to, and Rick Barnes has crumbled offensively. Now, you're not going to crumble because you know who you're going to. You're going to Connect, and he can overcome any defense. You can't just face guard Connect. He'll break right through that. He'll be able to score. So I believe that UConn, I believe in Purdue. All right, I'm on the Purdue train. I'm not hopping off. I'm on the Houston train. I believe that Tennessee. I believe that Kentucky. I believe that Carolina. Beyond that, you'd have to do some convincing. I'm out on Kansas. I don't see it with Iowa State. I'm not buying Illinois' upside. I believe we'll get 3 chalk Final Four teams, and I believe we will get 1 team that we do not expect to be there to make it to Arizona.
Okay, so not like last year. We're not going to see crazy Cinderella runs.
I think we could get 1. With the right region, I just don't see it. I think, here's the thing. Connecticut has been an absolute wagon. I'd be surprised I'd be downright shocked if they're not in the Elite 8. And I'd be surprised if they didn't make it to the Final Four. I think one of Houston or Purdue is going to be there. I think one of Carolina or Kentucky figures it out. From there, I don't know. I really like Creighton. I think Creighton's 7-1 in their last 8 games. And Shireman, Alexander, and Kalkbrenner are quite the big 3. But I don't think that this is as wild, PMT, with upsets here this year, just because I do think there's a whole bunch of parity. Guys, I don't think there's any difference between 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 seeds this year. I don't. I think there's a clear top. I think from there it's a total crapshoot. If I was picking in the bracket, you'll make some money. Pick any 12, pick any 13, pick any 14, any 15. Just ride those seeds. They're going to win games.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a good point on Creighton. Creighton's been like a top, 5, top 10 team in the last month and a half. They've been playing great ball. Real quick, out west, Arizona, obviously the class of the Pac-12. So this is the time of year where I see some teams. I could count actually Indiana in this. They're playing great ball right now. It's like I really want some of these teams. They got it together way too late, but they'd be great in the tournament. USC's another one where they got it together. They got healthy way too late, but they've been playing great ball. Do you see Arizona winning the Pac-12, and can they go deep? Because this is a team that has a lot of hype. They've played some big games this year. They've been tested. They've won some big games, but it does feel like something's a little off. Especially you saw them falter on Saturday night to USC.
I don't trust them.
Yeah,
I have trust issues with them. I think it's all or nothing, and the nothing is bad.
That's a good way to put it.
The nothing's really bad, and they lost to Princeton last year in the NCAA tournament. And I don't know if those mental demons are totally away. So, Tommy Lloyd has done a sensational job as a regular season coach. It takes you got to have a different set of stones to win in March. And right now with Tommy Lloyd, like I'm fearful. Is he, like a Brad Underwood? Does he have some painter where he's always got successful regular season teams? Even if Fran McCaffrey comes to mind. But then they get to the NCAA tournament, and like with Arizona, and Lloyd is like, it's probably not fair to him because he's still a relatively newer head coach and he's only 49 years of age. To me, the problem with Arizona is I don't know what I'm getting from Kylan Boswell from game to game. Like Caleb Love is going to be an All-American. And you know what? Credit to Caleb, because everybody said Caleb sucks and Caleb's terrible and Caleb's the reason why North Carolina blew up last year. Stop. You can't put it on one player. It's on a head coach to direct his team. Caleb transferred to Arizona, and he's had a terrific season. But to me, they just are inconsistent in their supporting cast, and it feels like Boswell's been way too up and down at times for me to buy into Arizona. If I was going to buy a West Coast program during this NCAA tournament, I would buy some stock in St. Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
I like Aiden Mahaney quite a bit. And guys, I'm in on that Mountain West.
Yeah.
Like, I really believe that the Mountain West, I don't think the 6 bids is fluky. I think it's a huge tournament for them. San Diego State making that Final Four, that gave these other teams a blueprint, an idea of what they could be. Keep an eye on Steve Alford and the Nevada Wolfpack in the NCAA tournament. And if they can get in there, Richard Pitino and New Mexico, if they find a way in with Jalen House and Jamal Mashburn, could be in a first 4 game. Yes, we could get Richard Pitino versus his father, Rick, in a first 4 game in Dayton. That would be juicy.
I love that. I love that little Oedipus Rex action going on.
I
there.
like that
crazy.
a lot.
And Big Cat just started watching the Mountain West like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I've never seen a game.
He's fallen in love with them hard.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't even know they played basketball out there.
It's good. That league is a lot of fun.
No, it's a lot of fun.
It's good.
And it's great. You know why? Because I like seeing a different league get tournament units.
Yeah.
Like, they've mastered the scheduling algorithm, the net, which I think has its flaws. Can I go to bat for one other team on Selection Sunday?
Yes.
Let's do it, John.
Josh Schertz in Indiana State.
Yep.
I hope you make it.
Yep.
You're better than all these other high majors that are just like decent to okay, that are going to get in because of their schedule. You couldn't schedule to the same degree because people didn't want to play you. I want to see Indiana State get to the dance. I'm all in on a 2-bid Missouri Valley Conference.
Yeah. I like that, too. It feels like it should happen, right? I don't think we're going to be surprised when it does.
It should, because the high major bubble is weaker this year.
Yeah.
Weaker.
Yeah. And it just like, if you ask me who I want to see play and like what March is about and the Cinderella stories and all these things, I would rather see Indiana State play than Virginia or
Nova.
No offense to Providence or Nova, like
Colorado,
Iowa. Like, no offense to these teams, but like they play tough schedule. They play in big conferences, but I want to see the Cinderella story.
Yeah.
Right now, if you put the 4 best mid majors up against the 4 high majors that are on the bubble, at larges, I guarantee you the mid majors will go at least 3-1.
All right, so give me your top 4 mid majors. Creighton. We just love saying Creighton.
Gonzaga.
Yeah.
No, I'll go outside the box here and get. So to me, the winner of the Ivy League tournament is going to be among my top mid majors. I hope if Princeton makes it again, just take them in the first round. They're going to win a first round game.
I like that.
Okay.
That team is back. It's not fluky. Like, guys, Mitch Henderson, the job he's done at Princeton is nuts. It's nuts. That team is balanced. They got a guard named Xavier Lee. When we get off, look up his YouTube highlights, or I'll send them to you. You got to watch this kid play. He's like a mid-major Curry. He's got that type of game. I'm in on McNeese and Will Wade. I believe in them. I believe in Shahada Wells. I think that they're capable. I like the winner of the Mid-American. Yeah, Maction can happen in the NCAA tournament. If Toledo can get there, I'm in on the Rockets. Don't sleep on Enrique Freeman and Akron. And then UC Irvine, Anteaters, really good defensive team, balanced enough to pull off that, that 9:57 Thursday night game on True TV?
Yep.
That's got UC Irvine written all over it.
Okay.
I like that. I'm going to remember those. You mentioned JMU earlier, and I'm a fan of yours, Johnny, and when you did a report on the scheduling issue, which I think has something to do with Indiana State, and it kind of speaks to the power imbalance in college basketball a little bit. Can you speak on that, about just how like it's become a thing now where big schools will not schedule a dangerous mid-major? Is there a way to get around this?
Well, the way to get around it is that you respect and look at these issues more and more face to face. And if you're not going to be willing to schedule them from a high major standpoint, then if these schools do everything in their power, then you give them a slot in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
That's the only situation where I am okay with the NCAA tournament expanding, and it can expand for me no more than 76 teams. I don't like it to begin with, but if you're going to expand, I want 4 mid-majors that have the same issues that JMU has because they deserve it. Here's the deal. There is no way PMT to control it. There's no way for us to tell Alabama and to tell UConn and to tell Florida and to tell Texas that they need to schedule Indiana State or James Madison. There's just not.
Right.
But
there's no upside for them.
Right. But you know what the upside for us is, guys? And I feel that it's our duty. And I know a John Rothstein, I know an Andy Katz, people that cover college basketball. Rico Bosco, everybody. I'll shout it to the moon and back. Do not exclude the JMUs of the world, the St. Peters of the world, the Fairleigh Dickinsons of the world, the Princetons of the world. Do not exclude them from your tournament. You can change up the college football playoff. We all agree that it should be adjusted, and it is. And guess what? It's better for college football. It's going to be more fun, more inclusive. I'm all for it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're trying to fix this NCAA tournament. It doesn't need any fixing. If you want to add a couple more teams because you got to widen your wallet, I'm not going to sit here and be against you. The more madness, the better. There is such a thing, though, as diluting your regular season so much that our bubble talk would be teams that are 500. Do we really want to be doing that this time of year? Don't significantly alter the best postseason in sports. I beg of you, college football people that want to now change up March Madness, stay in your damn lane.
Yes.
Get him, Johnny.
Yes. I feel so inspired right now.
I want to salute you.
Yeah. You kind of give me vibes. Remember when Dwight Schrute, like, people of the world unite, and he did the whole speech?
Blood turns the wheels of history.
Yeah, that's how I felt right there.
I'm passionate about it. I don't want to see March Madness is the best thing college basketball has going for it.
Yep.
We can't F this up.
Yep. I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. All right, so, Johnny, I got one last question for you. It's a rowback question, rhoback.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, rhoback.com, promo code TAKE. Tell me who is going to be the bubble team from these higher conferences that's going to be very disappointed come Selection Sunday. The team that you're looking at, you're like, they don't have it. I don't care if they go on a little run here. They're not going to – something in their resume is going to falter.
I'm going to go with Texas A&M and Iowa.
Yeah,
are going to be on the outside looking in of this equation. Iowa has come on here late, but I think you're going to end up with a sad Fran McCaffrey. They have a really, really important Big Ten tournament game to stay alive. Important Big Ten tournament game. Iowa, Ohio State in the 7-10. Ohio State, yeah, Mark Titus is listening somewhere, could make the NCAA tournament out of nowhere because if they beat Iowa, guys, after that they have Illinois. If they beat Illinois, they'd have 21 wins. A win over Illinois on a neutral, a win over Purdue, a win over Alabama, and a win at Michigan State. Could Chris Holtmann get fired during the season and Jake Diebler make the NCAA tournament? It is possible, but I do think the Hawkeyes, and I think Buzz Williams is going to be an upset Buzz on Selection Sunday.
Man,
okay.
Ohio State's crazy. They've gotten so hot. They've turned their season was completely dead, and they're playing great ball right now. I like those answers though. Those are good answers. The one thing would say for Iowa, they don't have any bad losses, I don't think. So that helps them. They're not like a Nova that lost to like Penn and Drexel, that kind of thing.
You were saying that Iowa State to you feels like they don't have a chance to be in that conversation. It sounds so in NFL terms, if we're watching like week 10, 12 of the season, the Miami Dolphins can't beat a good team. We call them frauds. Are you you're not saying that Iowa State's a fraud, are you?
No, I'm not saying that they're a fraud. I think they're a really good Sweet 16 team that has their limitations in their ability to be able to make a Final Four. Typically, if I say you're a Sweet 16 team, I also believe my argument is there's like 30 Sweet 16 caliber teams, 32 Sweet 16. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of teams we say, yeah, they're second week of potential. Like Rothstein does this all the time. It's like second weekend caliber. So, well, there's how many teams are there? 45 that are second weekend caliber. That's March Madness. To me, they're in the in between. You know, they are. They're a good restaurant. They're good for a burger or a sandwich. But if you're looking for a medium rare steak, I'm not going to go to Ames looking for that this particular season. I like their team. I don't love their team enough to say this is where I'm going to, propose to my wife.
Is Otzelberger going to stay? He's a good coach.
Yes, because of the contract.
Okay.
It's too big of a buyout.
Got it.
It's like an absurd amount of money.
He's a good coach. He's a very good coach.
Yeah, he's done a marvelous job at a place that's not the easiest to win. Like they have a great fan base, but in the Big 12, they're not top 3 or 4 in terms of the total package. He's made them really consistent, really good defensively. And this year with Taman Lipsey, Keyshawn Gilbert, the supporting cast of guards that they've got, I'm really impressed with the job that he's done. Milan Momcilovic is one of the better freshmen in America, and he plays for the Iowa State Cyclones.
I think you just like saying Milan Momcilovic.
Yeah, that was good.
That's a fun one to say.
That was really good.
I love saying it.
Yeah. Johnny Fanta, thank you so much. Everyone tune in. You'll see him all over Madison Square Garden getting interviews with the guys after the games. I can't wait.
And I'm partnering up with one Jim Calhoun this week.
Oh.
What are you doing?
He's going to be with me for a lot of those interviews and a lot of those breakdowns. So
that's going to be
love it. Tell him we say hello. Hello.
I will tell him you said hello. And fun fact, apparently he has not talked with Coach Pitino in about a decade.
Oh yes.
Oh, I love it. I love the rivalry. Grumpy old men. It's perfect.
Fireworks.
Maybe we'll get a dime back. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, thanks, Johnny. Okay, we now welcome on our very good friend, Pete Prisco. We love Pete. Pete's our guy. We wanted to do a quick, I know it's conference championship week, but we want to do a quick NFL free agency talk and see where Pete's head is at. Maybe even touch a little bit on the draft because he does watch the tape. The tape. That's what he says. But Pete, let's start with free agency. Who has won free agency thus far? We're a day and a half in. It feels like all the big signings have been taken care of. Who are you like, man, what their plan is? I love it.
Well, I'll tell you who won free agency was the running backs.
Yeah.
And that goes against everything that I believe in when it comes to team building. So, but, they got paid. They went off the market quickly. And I think it's a reflection of the draft not being very good when it comes to running backs, at least on the surface it isn't. I'm still a big believer you can find those guys in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round and be just as good as you would be if you got one in the 1st round. And we've seen that play out over the course of history. So I don't think that the draft is that bad when it comes to running back, that you have to overreact to this degree. But everybody spent a lot of money, and guys, kudos to the running backs. Even though they're really on the surface 1 or 2 year deals, you still got paid for a year or two.
I'll tell you who lost NFL free agency was Pete Prisco because running backs got paid and Russell Wilson got another job.
Yeah.
All your boys coming up, Pete.
Well, you know what, though? I've been right about running backs for 20 years, and I was right about Russell Wilson going way back to when he was in Seattle, okay? I mean, he had the #1 scoring defense in the league for 5 straight years, I think it was. And I always say this, the 50s Dynasty Browns were the only other team to do that. It's hard not to win when you have that defense. He was a good quarterback. He's been a good quarterback. The last couple of years, he's been a bad quarterback.
All right, so we'll get to Russ, but sticking on running backs just for one last question. Can you rank which running backs moves you liked and which you're like, I don't know what they're thinking? Because we had, obviously, Josh Jacobs to Green Bay, Saquon to Philly, DeAndre Swift to Chicago, Aaron Jones to the Vikings. Who else? Who am I forgetting?
Pollard to the Titans.
Pollard, Titans, yep.
Derrick Henry's talking to the Ravens right now.
Austin Eckler to the Commanders.
Yep.
Yeah, the Pollard one to the Titans I didn't get. I mean, you have a third down back, kind of a quick guy in Spears that you can use him and that kind of thing. I don't think Pollard's that much of a change-up back. He wasn't good last year. That one surprised me a little bit. I didn't think that, when you hear what happened with the Aaron Jones situation, he had a giant cap number. He wasn't going to come off of it that much. So you understand why they did that. But is Josh Jacobs a better back for the Packers offense than Aaron Jones is? And the answer to that question is no.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That one was a little weird to me because Josh Jacobs has had some good seasons, but Aaron Jones is younger, I believe.
I think they're the same age.
They're the same age?
Yeah, I think they're the same age, but Aaron Jones is like the centerpiece of that locker room. Like, everybody respects Aaron Jones in Green Bay.
Oh, I think actually Josh Jacobs is younger. That's my fault.
He's younger.
I was
Aaron
getting
Jones
my
is
Packer
what?
hate. Yeah.
Yeah, and Aaron Jones can split out, and Jacobs is okay in the passing game, but he's not what Aaron Jones can bring to an offense. And let's be real, they're going to build that thing around Love and the receivers. I mean, they have all those receivers and tight ends. They're going to build it around them. So I think Jones was a better fit for their offense. But if he wouldn't come off that number, I understand a little bit. But Jones is a better player.
Yeah, another guy that lost free agency was Joe Mixon because the Bengals waited until after every running back was signed to cut Joe Mixon. That was kind of a weird move. Is there something personal there behind the scenes? Because you would think that you would give him an opportunity to have a go at it beforehand, right?
Well, he's going to end up in Houston, isn't he? I think that's the latest. Is going to end up with the Texans, which I think is a good situation for him. Look, if you're going to get released by the Bengals, you go to the Texans. You play behind C.J. Stroud, and you want to be behind a good quarterback. You want to be able to have a threat to throw the football when you run it. So I think that would be a good opportunity for him.
So Pete,
they kind of handled it poorly. But remember, they've asked him a couple different times about taking a pay cut. And I think he's balked a little bit.
Yeah, I would too, though. If somebody was just like, hey, can you do the same job for less money? I'd probably be like, can you send me to Texas where there's no state income tax? That's a good compromise to me. Austin Eckler to the Commanders. I've watched, I watched every Chargers game last year, but I don't watch the tape like you, Pete. So you watch the tape on Austin Eckler. Streets are saying he might be a little bit slower. He might have lost a step. I still think he's pretty good catching the ball in the backfield. Is this a good signing or a bad signing for the Commies?
No, I think it's a good signing. He can still catch the ball out of the backfield. He can still get you, he's not going to carry it 15 times, 20 times between the tackles, I don't think, anymore. But you don't ask him to do that. You're going to get him in the passing game. You're going to, particularly if you have a young quarterback, you want to have a threat out of the backfield who can catch the football. And they're obviously going to have a young quarterback. So I think that makes sense from that standpoint. Is he the same runner he was a couple of years ago? Probably not. But, backs have a tendency as you get older, they start slowing down. And what you have to do is hope they don't go off the cliff, because we've seen backs, they get to that point and they go, oh, they're slowing down, and then they go right off the cliff.
Yeah, they get blown out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you hope that's not the case. He might have a year or two left in him.
Okay, so
yeah, there was the one Austin Eckler thing. There was a guy who tweeted out like Austin Eckler highlights. Maybe it was like a month ago, being like, this guy's still different, and it was all his highlights. And then the lower bar had obviously the scores happening that day, and one of the notes was like Kirk Cousins, 17 for 22 for the Washington Redskins.
Yeah,
and it was like shit.
Still got it.
That was a long time ago. Yeah.
Still got it, man. Hey, you know what's gonna be nice though? Like, I can't remember the last time that we had a running back that was, even discussed being drafted in the first 2-3 rounds of fantasy football. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like perennial first rounder.
And again, if you're gonna have a quarterback who's a rookie, probably starting, then you want to have outlets. Get the ball to the back, out of the back. That's the easiest throw for the guy to make. Check it down. Let him get out in space. I think that makes a ton of sense for Washington. I really do.
One signing I thought was really good, much to my dismay and chagrin, was Saquon Barkley to the Eagles. Saquon's dead to Tiki Barber. He's excommunicated. I think it's a perfect fit. I think that it's a good fit for the Eagles. Dream team back on.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, look, I like Saquon Barkley. I think he's a really good player, and he's been really limited by what he's had around him because teams load up against the box. I mean, the quarterback in the passing game wasn't very good. The receivers don't really scare down the field when you were with the Giants. So, yeah, he's a good back. He can do a lot of things, but look at the Eagles' defense. I mean, are you better off spending money on that side of the ball? That defense was horrible at the end of last year, and that's where the problems are. So, yes, you're adding a good piece to the offense, but I think they would have been better off spending money on the defensive side of the ball. And spending money on a back isn't usually what they do.
Yeah.
That's why it's so out of character for him.
Yeah. All right. So the other big signing, which will start a domino effect, is Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. I'm very curious what your thoughts are because I like the move and the fact, well, congrats to Kirk Cousins. He's gotten paid over $400 million in his career. It's incredible. I like the move and the fact that Falcons will be competitive and competent now, and they have all these guys on rookie deals, the skill position guys. But is there not a belief that, like, you're now setting yourself up, if you're the Falcons, Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. He's good enough that you'll never be, like, so bad that you're in the top of the draft, and you're kind of kicking the can down the road with trying to find a franchise quarterback.
Bingo. And like I said on our stuff yesterday, I said, well, the good news is he won't have to be playing in a lot of big games in Atlanta because we know how he's played in those games in his career. Not very well. He's won a lot of games. He's put up a lot of yards. But when it comes time in the crunch time, and his track record shows it, he hasn't been great. And that's the concern with Kirk Cousins. He was my number one free agent. He should have been. Any team that was quarterback needy, which the Falcons are, you have to go get him. He's going to be a good quarterback for them. But does he put him over the top like you said?
Right.
If you're going to go pay that kind of money to a quarterback, you want sustainable success, or you want to win a Super Bowl in the short term. And can he do that with that roster? I don't think he can. I don't right now. And by the way, I still think Tampa Bay is better than them right now in the division.
Wow. Yeah, and it does. I mean, it's a really tough. It's whenever you get the like middle class of quarterbacks, it's just a tough decision to make. Where it's like Kirk Cousins is a very good quarterback in the fact that like he will not get injured. Obviously, got injured this year. You will win games. He's somewhere in that 10 to 15 range, better than over half the league. But can he win a Super Bowl? And if he can't, what is the long-term play here?
Well, and you talk about paying a quarterback. When you look at what happened to Miami the last week and a half, that team has been picked to shreds in large part because they're in cap hell, but they're also readying to pay their quarterback.
Right.
And it's that's one of those guys, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You almost have to pay him. But what happened? Where does he take you? Does he take you into you're contending every year like Mahomes and Allen and those guys do? I don't know if he does. I don't think he does. And he hasn't shown up in the big moments in certain games either. And so that's a concern. But you're right. There's only a certain amount of guys where you pay them and you're going to be around for the next decade. They're going to keep you there. Kirk Cousins isn't that. And I don't think Tua is that.
Yeah. Well, good news for the Falcons. They had the fewest amount of primetime games last year. With 0.
Yeah, that's good.
They didn't play in prime time. That might have been something Kirk circled on his his pro and con list when he was deciding where to go.
But you guys are absolutely right. $400 million. He's the biggest winner of them all. He's the greatest football player for what he's done. He's $400 million. God bless him.
Yeah, congrats to him. Like, he's a really good guy, and if they're going to pay you, they're going to pay you. Who cares?
He played the system perfectly, the way that it happened.
Yes, he did.
So he was a fourth-round draft pick, and then he got tagged twice in D.C., so that's some guaranteed big money right there for just 2 seasons. Then he goes to Minnesota, gets another guaranteed contract. Now he's going to Atlanta. Like he has worked the system perfectly for a slightly above average quarterback. That's a good guy to hang out with. He's maximized the value.
Rick Spielman works with us, and every Sunday we're in there, and every time we see him, I go, "You gave him that much guaranteed money? What the hell were you thinking? What were you thinking?"
Yeah,
but
it's
it
crazy.
Worked out. He's been a good quarterback for them. But was he ever, like you said, is he ever a great quarterback? And the answer to that question is no.
So Kirk Cousins is gone. Russell Wilson to the Steelers. You saw obviously Jameis Winston, who we think was the number 1 free agent signing to the Browns. What does the rest of the QB carousel look like? Specifically, like Bears Twitter is going nuts because we can't figure it out. I think it's a mistake if they keep Justin Fields past the draft and have Caleb Williams have to walk into a locker room and see Justin Fields there. But where's he going to go? Obviously, we've overrated his value. So what is it going to be, and is it going to happen?
I think it'll happen. It's a matter of what they want to get for him now. There's no market there. I mean, they signed Gardner Minshew. The Raiders paid Gardner Minshew rather than making a move to go get Justin Fields. That should speak volumes about what the league thinks about Justin Fields. I think, what would be a good option for him? Maybe like go become a backup somewhere like in Indianapolis. Minshew's out of there. You have a mobile quarterback that's there that's going to – but he was hurt last year and he's had some injury issues. So why not go there, learn that offense, and maybe that'll be something that'll help rejuvenate you and show people you can play in that offense if you do indeed get on the field play, and then maybe you get another opportunity. I don't think right now there's a starting job for him. I thought Atlanta was a possibility if they didn't get Cousins. But where's an opportunity for him to start right now?
It's the contract too, because you got to then you get him, and then you got to figure out if you want to pick up the 5th-year deal. Do you think that the Bears will trade him though before they draft Caleb Williams? Because it does feel like it's a ticking time bomb. If you say, "Hey, we're going to just try to hold on to him and get better value in the season," that feels like a recipe for some bad locker room vibes.
Or you hold on to him until somebody has an injury in training camp and wants to get desperate for a quarterback. And, that happened to the Vikings back in the day. Remember when Bridgewater went down, they gave up a first-round pick for Sam Bradford, which, turned out to be a disaster. But so teams get desperate. Maybe you hold on to them that way. And then you hope they can coexist if they're there together. And now, whether they can, who knows? You're right. It could have factions in the locker room that think Fields is better, factions in the locker room that want Williams. You can cause problems that way. But that's where coaches and everybody else come into play. You got to be able to handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could see the logic behind that, keeping him until training camp, because you're probably gonna increase your trade value from like a 4th to a 2nd round pick, maybe, if you hang on to him that long. It's just a matter of how do you handle having an established guy that the locker room has gravitated towards in the past while bringing in a new guy. Like, is a new guy going to be set back because of that?
Yeah.
I mean, Caleb Williams is clearly going to be the pick now. That's quite obvious. And should he be? Probably. I mean, he's got – there's a lot of things to like about him. And if you're a Bears fan, you should be excited. There's also some concerns about him. I mean, he doesn't throw on time all the time, in rhythm all the time. He's got the wow play down. It takes deep drops, and then he cried after a game, which is never a good look.
Of course Pete doesn't like that. You don't like his fingernails either,
what do you
huh?
think about the pain?
I don't care about the fingernails. That doesn't bother me one bit. I just don't think you should ever cry after losing a football game.
By the way, it's Manalytics.
I apologize if there was a death in the family or something that week. I apologize, but if there was not, you were crying over the football game. Bad luck.
Okay, so
I think it's always appropriate to cry after a loss and during the national anthem.
I mean, maybe during the national anthem, if you get emotional over something, okay. Maybe there was something that went on in your life. I don't mind that. But after a loss, there's no way you cry after a loss.
It means he cares.
Crying over football.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Crying over football. No, it doesn't. It means well, okay, then why doesn't the rest of the team cry? They don't care?
They probably do. I bet you a lot of guys cry privately without you realizing it. Like if I have a bad like gambling day, like a really bad one, like I'll do a little tear in the shower. Just
when you were shooting those free throws, when you were bricking free throws all over the place and couldn't get the streak going that day, did you cry afterward?
I was close to crying. If I had missed 39 and 40 that last time, I 100% would have cried. But that would have been more out of exhaustion, because we were up for 24 hours.
There's no way I can tell you with 100% certainty. Even when I was a kid, I didn't cry over losing.
He's a strong Italian man. Listen, this is why we love having you on, because you always give us at least one of these. While we're talking about Caleb Williams, can you rank your quarterbacks, the 6 guys that are going to most likely be drafted in the first 2 rounds come
Yes,
April?
And I got more work to do on them, but my preliminary ranking is I think Jaden Daniels will be the best of them.
This hurts.
He's the most improved player I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wow.
Most improved. And I'm a Sun Devil. I watched him at Arizona State. One very good. And now he's what he can do with the ball and his ball placement, his accuracy, his ability to run. I mean, he can run too. That's the other thing. So I probably rank him slightly. They're close. Him and Caleb Williams, 1 and 2. Then Drake May, and then I don't love JJ McCarthy. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think I take him in the 2nd round. I wouldn't but he's going to get drafted in the top 10. I don't see that. Then I'd probably go Penix right in there with him. And a guy I like is Pratt from Tulane in the 3rd round.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's one of those guys you got down the line guys. You might end up getting a good quality starter out of that.
Pete, I just looked it up. Tom Brady's cried several times after football games.
Not a winner.
Did he?
Not a winner.
No, I didn't say he wasn't a winner. It's just
Pete doesn't like it. That's okay. You can, you can do that.
Yeah. I mean,
when did Brady cry? What games did he cry
after the Super Bowl? After the Eagles Super Bowl, he cried. He's at the podium right now. I'm watching this video after a Steelers loss. It looks like when he was on the Buccaneers, they lost to the Steelers, and he was getting teary-eyed at the podium.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Okay. Oh, yes, like Tom Brady a bust. Yeah.
Like I always tell guys, if the worst thing that ever happens to you in your damn life is you lost a football game, you had a hell of a life.
All right, that's good perspective. Okay? That's good perspective. I have a question about J.J. McCarthy real quick, Pete. How are war rooms deciphering J.J. McCarthy? Because you have these competing things where it's like he wasn't asked to do a lot, but what he did was good. But can he do more? We never saw it in college. That's really what the crux of the argument is. So how are guys like analyzing it and seeing, okay, this is what he could do, or we've seen all of it and there's not much more there?
Yeah, and again, when you evaluate him, there are games he stands in the pocket when he does make the throws and there's nobody near him. I mean, the offensive line was good in protection and nobody near him. So it's hard to evaluate that. But I think you're trying to take the skill set and translate it to the next level. There's a lot to like. He doesn't have a great arm. He has a pretty good arm. He can move, but he's not like Jaden Daniels. So there are some things there. I think the league, you know what I think the league is guilty of? And just like the Twitter media and the Colts I call them the draft cult. One says it, so two says it, so four say it, then eight say it. And in the NFL, a guy will talk to a guy and go, hey, I really like that McCarthy guy. Well, I watched him. I didn't like him, but let me go back and watch him. Hey, now I like him. I saw what you see. And then he tells him, oh, look at J.J. McCarthy. All of a sudden, they all convince themselves that he should be a high first-round pick, and that's how mistakes get made.
Do you think maybe there's a GM out there that's saying that because he knows that, and so he's going to just be like, hey, J.J. McCarthy, pretty good, knowing that people will parrot that and repeat it, knowing that J.J. McCarthy is actually not that good?
Yes, it's lying season. Everybody lies to try but you know guys you trust, and there are people in the league that trust each other, and they could go on that. There are too many guys that I talk to that kind of they go, they're forcing this up a little bit, and we've seen it play out over the course of the recent drafts. Look at all the quarterbacks from the Trevor Lawrence draft; they're all nowhere now. So I think you got to be careful with that. Do your own work. Do your own evaluation. If you like him, you like him. If you don't listen to anybody else.
Yeah, Pete, there's another quarterback that's in the news today. Josh Allen restructured his deal. He got just, I guess, all the money up front. I don't really understand how that works. Great guy. You're an Italian, so you're an expert in money laundering. How does that work in terms of converting all that money that you will owe him into a signing? But why don't they just do that every year with every quarterback?
You're stereotyping the Italian man, aren't you?
I'm 2% Sicilian. I can say
it. No, what you do is you give them the boat. You make it bonus money so you get it right now, and then spread it over the course of the contract and add on years. That's how you make it less of a cap hit. It's great for the player because you put it in your pocket right now.
Because it's
a great thing.
It's funny how that got framed. It's like, thank you, Josh, for restructuring your deal. It's like that's good for him. That's great.
It's great for him. It's great for him. By the way, there's an Exhibit A on what the Twitter draft cult and the NFL can do to a player. They all killed that kid for years, and nobody would ever come off of it. And even during the draft process, if I remember back to that was criminal what they did to him.
Yep, not us. We're on the right side of history.
Me.
Yep,
not me.
It feels good to be right, Pete.
It does. It does feel good because I've had many wrong ones, so I'll be right. I'll take that one.
So you always grade free agent signings. You always say, like, okay, this is the best deal. This is the best player, most impact, most improved team. What would you say is the one player that you like to sign the most? And then two, which team got better? Which team do you think led the league in improving themselves so far?
Well, that's a good question. Let me. Okay, I think the Vikings defense really improved itself. And they're going to have to, because they're going to have to win games because Sam Darnold's going to be their quarterback, it looks like, unless they go up and get J.J. McCarthy. So I think adding Jonathan Grenard is a good signing for them. Adding Van Ginkel, who's a heck of a football player, has the same hairstyle as you, by the way. You like that. And then they also added Blake Cashman. With what Flores can do with those guys, they can do a lot of different things. I think they had a good free agency class on that side of the ball. Now, you lost your quarterback, so it kind of negates that a little bit, obviously, because the quarterback is so valuable. As far as individual signings, let me think off the top. I'm trying to think. I see. You know me. I'm not going to put a running back signing up there. I like what.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I like Christian Wilkins to the Raiders because I think that defensive line is going to be ferocious now with Max Crosby. Put another dude on that line.
And you know what? Everybody doubles Max Crosby, and now if you put Wilkins next to him, you can't double as much.
Right.
And you're right. That's a really good sign. I also like, teams that went out and bolstered their offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you an example. The Tennessee Titans had been awful on the offensive line. Will Levis got abused. He got abused last year. Getting Cushenberry to play center for them is big for them. It really is. Now they can draft the left tackle in the first round, and all of a sudden you have a left side with Skoronski and the left tackle. All of a sudden you got yourself a much improved offensive line, and you got to build it around that quarterback. So I think that's a good signing. I think Carolina getting their guards. I mean, they paid a lot of money for the guards, but you have a little quarterback. You can't have pressure on the inside with a little quarterback.
Now, since you brought up Carolina, they just did it again. They just keep making the worst deals ever. The fact that they traded Brian Burns for what, a second-round pick?
Maybe a second and a fifth or something?
It was a 2 and a 5.
But it was a swap of the 5th.
Yeah, it's also what they got, the Giants got for Leonard Williams.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they ended up with Brian Burns over Leonard Williams for the same draft compensation.
But the craziest part about this is Brian Burns, the Rams were ready to offer 2 first-rounders, a year and a half ago? And they said no on a season that went nowhere. They just keep doing this. It's insane.
Well, this one is on them now. The other ones were on the last regime, so you can't really blame Dan Morgan and gang for that. This was one of those situations where let's look at it from the Rams standpoint. If you were really going to give 2 first-round picks away for Brian Burns, that would have been a terrible trade anyways. I mean, you turned it down if you're Carolina, but if the Rams were going to do that, that would have been a bad trade because you ultimately got to pay him too. Anytime you trade and pay first-round, if you trade a first-round pick and you pay a guy, that's where you run into problems because you're giving away cheap assets and team players that you build your team around for a guy you're going to have to pay a mega contract. Right. And so I always think that's too risky. I mean, all you got to do is look at the Russell Wilson deal. How'd that work out?
Yeah. So Russell Wilson, do you think Russell Wilson is going to win the starting job in Pittsburgh?
It's going to be a competition. I'm not going to sit here and say he's just going to win it. I think he's been bad the last couple of years. I really do. His whole game was predicated on getting outside the pocket and making plays. And, he wasn't as quick. He wasn't as elusive. He wasn't as, one of those guys that could make those plays. And he leaves so many pockets. It was, talking to people in Denver, it was so frustrating because he would have clean pockets at times and never step up. He just leaves or take a sack. And you can put on a tape and watch boatloads of plays like that where I could see where it would frustrate anybody. So I'm not going to sit here. I'm not one that everybody sits here and says, oh, Russell Wilson's going to put the Steelers in the playoffs. No, I think he's going to have a quarterback competition with Pickett, and that tells you where Russell Wilson is as a player.
It also, Russell Wilson doesn't realize this obviously wasn't what he thought when signing, but the idea of Russell Wilson starting 17 games for the Pittsburgh Steelers and being the guy who breaks Mike Tomlin's over 500 streak would be, I mean, wow. talk about like the final nail in the coffin in terms of your reputation. That because Tomlin's done it with all these guys, old Big Ben and everything.
That's a brutal division.
Yeah.
Brutal division when you think about it. The Ravens, we know what they have. Joe Burrow back, you know what they are. And then you have the Browns, who are a playoff team, and they're going to get Watson back, So, no, that's tough to do, even if Russell Wilson is the starting quarterback. That's going to be a challenge for them.
Yeah, I don't know if Russ is going to be able to hold up to Mike Tomlin's coaching. Like, he did not get along with Sean Payton. He kind of needs a guy that's friendly to him, needs to pat him on the back, all positive energy. I don't know that Mike's going to be that guy. I would not pencil in Russ Wilson as the starting quarterback just yet. That's what I'm getting at.
Has Russ Wilson ever left the team where everybody was just angry that he left?
NC State.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good answer. In the NFL, has that ever happened? I mean, when he left Seattle, you didn't hear any people, all upset about it. Then when he left Denver, they didn't care. I mean, he's not a great teammate. You hear the stories. He's not a great teammate.
Counterpoint, though, when he announced that he was going to Pittsburgh, his tweet that he put out was just the Renegade song.
Yeah.
So he gets it.
Yeah.
That was
He's
he
bought
gets
in.
it.
He bought in.
that was sick.
and the Steelers love the Renegade song, and everybody's taking it and run with it all over the country now. You ever see that in any college football, in high school? They play it all the time now.
Yeah, it gets people going for sure. So, all right. So, back to Kirk Cousins real quick, though, because I wanted to kind of dispute one thing that you said. I actually think that this is a great signing by the Falcons because Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta, the expectation is not the Super Bowl. They had a quarterback for the past 2 seasons that he would take way too many chances with the ball, right? The knock against Kirk Cousins is he doesn't take chances at all sometimes, even when maybe he should. But with the dynamic playmakers that they have, having a safe quarterback, I do think makes them the favorite to win that division. I think that they're like a top 3, top 4 team in the NFC right now just because he is safe. He is that very, very – he's like Matt Ryan light where you can put him back there. He's not going to turn the ball over 20 times in a year. He's not going to fumble on the goal line twice in a game. There's a lot of games that the Falcons could have won last year if they just had a guy that was competent. And I think if there's one thing you could say about Kirk Cousins, he's exceedingly competent.
Yes, he's definitely competent. I just think Tampa's better. I just think they're a better football team. The offensive line in Atlanta, pretty good. Robinson can run it, so that's pretty good. Pitts hasn't come close to living up to the expectations. Drake London, maybe now with Kirk Cousins, he'll be better. But what about the defense? Who's the pass rushers on that defense? They don't have any real, threats as pass rushers, and that's always a concern. So, look, they'll be in the mix to win the division. It's going to be close, just like it was last year. I don't think anybody's winning 11 games in that division. Do you?
I think the Falcons can win 11 games. Yeah, I do.
Oh, I don't.
You want to bet?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll bet it. We'll bet your liquor bottle you walk around with in your pocket.
A bottle of Mad Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You have to chug. You have to chug a bottle of Mad Dog at the Super Bowl next year.
I'm not chugging a bottle of Mad Dog. There's no conceivable way I'm chugging a bottle of Mad Dog.
You can do it.
You have to finish. You have to finish a bottle of Mad Dog.
There's no. I'm not making that bet. I'll buy you one. How about that?
Okay, deal.
Deal.
The
11 games.
11 games.
11 games is a lot. PFT. Sure about this?
I think the Falcons can win 11 games next year. Yes.
A lot of games. That's a lot of
games.
It is
a lot of games.
Listen. I like Kirk. I like the fit.
But
there.
you make a good. You will say. You do make a good point about the NFC though. When you compare it to the AFC and the NFC, there aren't a lot of great teams in the NFC, right? The quarterbacks are all in the AFC. The NFC is, if you got hot at the right time, you might be able to win the NFC.
You make a lot of good points. I'm looking at their schedule real quick. They play the AFC West. It looks like no. They just have the Broncos. That's the one.
Okay.
They do. They do play the AFC West. So they have the Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Raiders, Broncos. Yeah. I don't know. 11 games is a lot of games.
It's a lot of games.
11 games is a lot of games. That's a lot of wins for that team. I mean, even inside the division, just the Saints are always a good game with them. That's tough. The Bucs are going to be good. Yeah, that's tough to get.
I'm gonna step in here. I think PFT, you should just wait a second on this because this is your Kirk Cousins. Like you're
I'm caught up.
Kirk Cousins disease. I think
he is
at least.
I've got the opposite of Kirk derangement syndrome. Yeah. I've got like Kirk excitement syndrome.
Maybe 10 is where you want to do this bet.
10.5.
No, he made all that.
No, that's 11.
I know. We compromised.
Yeah. All right. So, Pete, last question, rowback question, rhoback.com, promo code take 20% off your first purchase, Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. We should have mentioned the Texans have made some good defensive additions. Even the Lions made some good defensive additions. But I have to ask, because you're here, you're Jacksonville Jaguars. I like the Mitch Morse signing. I like the Gabe Davis signing. What do you think? Have we looked at their schedule? Are they a Super Bowl team again next year?
No, they're not.
And the Mac Jones, you got Mac Jones.
Yeah, look, that last year was a disaster, by the way, and in large part for a bunch of reasons. One being the center. Thankfully, they replaced him. Mitch Morse can actually move people. They'll be protected on the inside better. That's good because Trevor Lawrence couldn't step up. He started getting out of there. I think getting Gabe Davis gives them a deep threat down the field, which they need. They'd like to keep Ridley. If they could keep Ridley, then I think Zay Jones might be out. Then you'd have Ridley, Kirk, and Gabe Davis, I think, which would be good for them. Defensively, adding the corner I think makes sense in Darby. Not a great player, but didn't cost them a lot of money. They got to get better on the interior of their defensive line. That's one of the priorities has to be that. And so I think they'll be good. They'll be better next year. They had a winning season. They won 9 games, and they weren't that good at the end of the year. So I think they can still push to win that division. But the Texans have the best quarterback in the division now. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Credit to us. We've gone this entire time talking about the NFL. We haven't mentioned Hank's Dallas Cowboys once. That's got to be a record for any segment that you've ever done. But it feels like they haven't done anything, right?
They haven't done anything. I mean, and look, sometimes you can wait in free agency and get some bargains down the road. I mean, if you look at free agency over the course of history, everybody gets excited about these guys, and most of them are gone in 2 years. And so I think you can get some bargains there. But Dallas needs to get better against the run. I mean, that's, number one priority. They have to be able to stop the run. They were getting gashed at the end of last year. And so I think that's something you got to keep an eye on. Do they bring in a linebacker or two and maybe get big guy on the defensive line? They have to.
All right. Well, Pete, thank you as always. You make time for us. We love having you on. Men shouldn't cry after football games. What about fans? Are fans allowed to cry after football games?
I'm expecting you guys to throw that on a T-shirt soon, and you'll be selling those.
Men don't cry.
Shot.
Boys don't cry.
Yeah. Wait, can you cry if you're a fan?
No.
Oh, well.
What if
we have a guy that works with us? He does some stuff with us, and he's a big Eagles fan. And when they won that Super Bowl, he had video of himself like bawling. I mean, no.
Wait, you can't cry over a Super Bowl win? When are men allowed to cry in your mind, Pete?
When bad things happen in your life. Losing a Super Bowl is not a bad thing. It's a football game.
What about at your wedding? Are you allowed to cry at your wedding?
Yeah, you could cry at your wedding. I didn't, but you can cry at your wedding.
What about when Michael has to kill Fredo? That was sad.
That was sad. You had to kill you because you know what? When you watch stuff like that, you put yourself in that situation.
Yeah, the Italians. All right, we found a place.
I would kill your brother.
Godfather's the only time men can cry. I like that.
Right? Well, you put yourself in that situation. Can I kill my brother Richie? Let me see. Would I have to put him down?
Yeah.
You had to.
All right.
What about when Bobby Bacala gets shot in the toy train shop?
That was sad.
Yeah. That was sad, but sometimes you understand why things have to be done. Things have to be done.
Calvin Ridley's a Patriot. This is breaking news.
Oh wow!
There you go.
Yeah.
So they don't. So everything you just said, throw it out.
They wanted him. It was just a matter of whether they would go to his price, and I guess they got near.
Oh wait, no, I'm reading it wrong. New England is pushing to sign free agent Calvin Ridley, but sources believe that he currently prefers to return to Jacksonville, and he's been discussing a deal with Jaguars. That wasn't phone worthy, Jake. That was,
by the way,
because I read it and I was like, "Oh, he's a Patriot. He just wants to stay in Jacksonville."
Well, here's why he wants to stay in Jacksonville. Let me tell you, he had trouble learning the offense last year, and so he doesn't really want to go somewhere else and have to learn another one.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. I'm serious.
I'm not going to
said that.
I'm not going to blame Jake. That was a Schefter dupe. Schefter tweeting basically that Calvin Ridley hasn't gone anywhere, but put the name Patriots in there. That's a weird tweet by Schefter. He duped us all.
He knows that.
Well, the Patriots are trying to get him.
Yeah. Right, but that was
Schefter. Yeah. Schefter knows that people have notifications set on their phone for him, so a lot of times he'll bury the actual story behind the ... And we got ... dotted by Schefter.
We got ... dotted.
Yeah,
hard.
We got ... dotted.
All right. Well, Pete, thank you as always. We got to see you soon. We miss you. All right.
I thought I'd see you guys at the Super Bowl or something, but I didn't even see you.
What did you do in Vegas? What was the Prisco Lounge?
You were at the White Rhino all week. I saw your office.
Spearmint
Rhino. White Rhino's
you guys were there. You had VIP. You had throwing money around with the little gun shooting the hundreds out into the crowd. I know how you guys operate.
We should go to a strip club with Pete.
Peter, you a strip club guy?
No way.
I haven't been in a long time.
I mean, a Florida guy. I assume everyone from Florida was like, that's where you get christened in a strip club.
He's a brothel guy.
No, I was. Back in the day, we used to go to the strip joints all the time down here. I mean, it was a wild, wild west back in the day. I'm a married man now. I don't go to strip joints.
I was down in Florida like a month ago, and my buddy was like, "Yeah, we shouldn't go to a strip club while we're down here because it's not nude. Apparently, you have to wear pasties down in Florida. Is that true?"
It depends on where you're at.
So okay,
that's not true.
That's a regional one.
Yeah, no, that's not true. Some of them, yes. Some of them, no. What city were you in?
Just south of Jacksonville. I was in Ponte Vedra.
Yeah, well, yeah. Jacksonville, yeah, that's true. That's exactly right. What were you doing? Look at you, highfalutin in Ponte Vedra. Wow.
I was drilling the 17th green at Sawgrass is what I was doing.
And what'd you do?
I got two. I got a birdie.
You got a birdie.
You know, I did that once and got a birdie on there. It was being filmed.
That ruins the entire thing.
No, it doesn't.
We're editing this. Yeah. Pete Prisco and PFT commenter, two heavy hitters in the golf world.
And I hit like 3. It was like for a thing we filmed for TV. I put it right next to the pin, made the birdie. And then we played around. After we went around, I got to the 17th and plunked about 4 of them, I think, in the water when nobody was watching.
That's fine. No, you got a birdie. We both got birdies. 2 great golfers.
Yeah, I got a birdie.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a good golfer, but I did birdie that hole. Yeah. Are you good?
No, I'm terrible.
No, we're not good.
I'm horrendous.
No.
Yeah.
This guy takes lessons like twice a week. I've seen him.
Who are you talking about?
You.
Me? I've never taken a lesson in my life. I'm not going to let another man.
I don't do anything.
I'm not going to let another man teach me how to swing a golf club.
Hank, you're thinking of Hank. Hank takes lessons.
I'm going to take lessons because I'm getting frustrated with my game, so I'm going to take lessons.
Yeah, it won't fix anything. You'll still suck.
No, I got break. It's you know what stinks about the game is if you don't start playing until you're older, you're never going to really good at it.
Yeah.
You know? Did you play as a kid? Did either of you play as a kid?
No. Oh, we got Derrick Henry to the Ravens.
How much was the money?
$20 million, including $9 million fully guaranteed in the first year. So it's probably a 1-year deal for $9 million.
Yeah, that's a good decent deal for them.
Yeah, I like that for them.
Yeah.
But the problem is, will they run the ball? You have the running back. You got to actually run the ball.
I agree. Yeah. But also, he started breaking down a little bit the last couple of years. He doesn't have the same pop he had a couple of years ago.
I'm concerned with the speed in which Adam Schefter has these Photoshops ready to go. We were talking about it the other day. He probably has like Derrick Henry in 3 different uniforms just in case, and then he tells them which one to put in his tweet, right?
Or he knows it's coming and just puts it out and waits for it.
So he's saying that there's tampering that happens before the legal tampering.
You kidding me? Back in the day, remember when the Pro Bowl used to be in January in Hawaii? The whole thing, every agent in the world went out there and tampered. The whole in Hawaii. It was all they had deals done in January.
Are you kidding me?
I just love the idea that the NFL was like, okay, you guys tamper so much, we'll make it legal to tamper, but there's still tampering that happens well before that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all these deals are done, and the free agency period hasn't even started yet.
Yeah,
it's crazy. All right, Pete. Thanks so much, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Pete Prisco is brought to you by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey. St. Patty's has almost arrived. Proper number 12 is here to remind you practice makes proper. Proper 12 is brought to you by a true Irishman, Dublin 12's own, the notorious Conor McGregor. Proper 12 pays homage to Conor's Irish hometown roots. It's a rich and smooth blend of golden grain, single malt, aged 4 years in bourbon barrels. Anything else just wouldn't be proper. Pour the roar this St. Patty's Day with a proper green tea shot made with smooth and rich, proper Irish whiskey. Create your own St. Patty's lore when you pour the roar. Pete Prisco is also brought to you by our great friends over at Dave & Buster's. Dave & Buster's is the best place to watch basketball this March. 86% of American employees will spend at least some time at work keeping track of March basketball. Also, if anybody out there puts out like the productivity stats when it comes to the tournament and how much time and money is being wasted by American employees, that person's a cop. They're a narc. Don't listen to them. Just keep it moving. It's okay. It's okay to duck out. It's okay to watch basketball on TV. Stop pretending to work. Watch the games at Dave & Buster's. On March 21st, Dave & Buster's nationwide will have an all-day happy hour to celebrate the first full day of games. I love Dave & Buster's. Babe, you love Buster's. You love it so much. Go back. Go back. Stop pretending to work. Come to Dave & Buster's on March 21st for all-day happy hour and all-day basketball. I can't think of a better place in the world to watch that first weekend of games than at Dave & Buster's. It's the best. The games, the TVs, the food's really good, great drinks. Dave & Buster's. Check it out.
Okay, let's wrap up. We got guys on chicks. Henry, read it.
Hey, Big Cat, PFT, Hank, Jake, Memes, Pug, and Burrito Boy. What are your thoughts on how common it is for women to get Botox/filler/plastic surgery nowadays? I am 26 years old, and I'm one of the only ones out of my friends who has not gotten a lip fill or some kind of injection yet. Do guys like the big fake lips? And what plastic surgery, Botox injection would you guys all get done to yourselves if you could?
Is this Kate Middleton?
Might be. She's dead.
Yeah.
She's getting divorced, actually. And the woman that is cheating on Prince William.
It's the most British title of all time.
Yeah. So here's her title.
Lady Rose.
She's Lady Rose Hanbury, Marchioness of Colmandelli.
Yeah, and if you look her up, she looks like the ultimate mistress.
She looks so prissy.
And the article that they wrote yesterday about her, which was like very clearly planted by somebody who's in the know about this, made several references to the fact that her husband is very old.
Yep.
And that she lives right down the street from the royal family.
Yep. Lady Rose Hanbury.
The question is it okay to get plastic surgery?
Thoughts?
Yeah, go for it.
I think lip fillers are similar to my chapstick take. Is like once you get it and then you get addicted to it, then you always need it, and it's a dangerous path to go down.
I am really bad at noticing any type of plastic surgery or anything, and so if I can notice it, then it's too much. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of girls do this. They get the Botox, they get the lip fillers. I don't even know. I can't tell any of that shit. But if you're walking around and your face looks like wax, then yeah, that's probably a problem. So there's in limits. And if I could get it, I don't know. What would you guys get?
What plastic surgery would you guys get done to yourselves if you could?
Liposuction?
I get an implant.
Where?
Your ass?
Chin implant.
Chin implant.
Oh, that would rock.
You should do it.
I've looked into it.
Well, I don't know if it's a chin implant. Wouldn't they have to just break your jaw and then reconstruct it?
I don't know. It can be done. I'm just not that self-conscious yet.
I'd get a breast reduction for sure.
I get calf implants. You remember that guy in True Life?
What about you can grow. They can like give you 5 inches.
Yeah, they
break your leg.
Yeah, so when like that news article came out, I got
pain.
tagged a million times in it. Thanks everyone. But yeah, they can give you like 5 inches of height, but they break both your shins, and then every couple weeks they just like unscrew your bones further and further apart,
God.
and then your bone heals in between, and you grow. Yeah, I'd probably do that. I'd probably be able to dunk before Hank.
Yeah,
it's like a 2-year recovery time.
I'm dunking.
You're ready and ready to go in no time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, gang. My boyfriend and I just moved in together, and sharing a bathroom has already become a huge problem. He constantly misses the toilet, and the next time I walk in, drops of piss are always on the seat. I'm always the one who has to clean it up, and I'm tired of it. He says that he is trying to execute the silent piss. Do all guys try to pee as quiet and as hard as possible, or should I be concerned?
Yeah.
I'm a huge silent pisser.
Yeah, you got to piss on the toilet, like the rim, without hitting the water.
Unless I have to pee really bad, and then I like to feel the power.
Yeah,
hear the power
for the first couple seconds, and you're like, "Wow, that's like a jet engine on my dick."
Yeah.
You could do what I do with my son. Just put a Cheerio in there and be like, hit the Cheerio.
That's good target practice.
It's so easy.
I always used to try and hit the X in the urinals in school, and then pops back up.
Splashes, yeah.
There's a couple moves you can do that probably lead themselves to sprinkling on the seat a little bit. One is like what Big Cat said, where you aim for the side of the porcelain so it's not making the big splash sound. The other is timing the flush to coincide with the end of your pee.
Oh yeah, do it all the
which
time.
is so much fun to do. Yeah. But a lot of times you end up like convincing yourself that you're already done peeing, and you start to back away, and then you get a little on the rim.
Yeah, it's efficiency. You could also offer him the sink. I think that's the problem solved.
I never noticed it in our other bathrooms. Really, other bathrooms I've been in, but there is a lot of leakage.
It's Brandon Walker.
It's crazy.
He copped to it. He accidentally.
It's crazy.
We were having the conversation a few days ago, and he was like, "We're like, yeah, there's a lot of piss on the ground in front of the urinal," and he's like, "Yeah, every time I dribble, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of piss on the ground." I was like, "What did you just say?" And he's like, "That's him. It's him."
I would suspect if there's a significant amount of liquid on the floor in a bathroom, it would be Max, given his recent history.
Yeah, no, it's Brandon.
Yeah.
It's Brandon.
You remember
Max,
when
you're innocent.
Remember that one person that was like putting their boogers on the wall at the old HQ in New York? Did we ever find out who that was?
We thought it was Mantis, but then it kept on going. And I can't be mad at Mantis. Mantis has my heart for life with what he did for the free throw challenge.
Yeah.
Through in heaven. I think
he could still be in this office.
He's doing a live stream that's not going to end until he hits 100 in a row.
Whoa. Where's he doing it?
Probably Young Mantis YouTube.
Okay.
What's up, PMT boys? I'm an AWL in college. I broke up with my boyfriend of 3 years before I left for college, but we are still friends. I met a guy at a party here. We hooked up and are now friends with benefits. I kind of like him, but don't know if he wants something serious. He takes me on dates, but we also go out and party a ton with our friends.
Sounds awesome.
This sounds like dating. This sounds like just being single in college. The question is like, I'm single in college. Your comments.
I don't believe. Yeah, this is so. Like, you couldn't fake this. I don't think if you tried. I still talk to my ex, and he says that's crazy because he broke up with his ex at the same time as me, and they don't talk.
Why are you doing that with your hand?
I'm talking like she's writing it.
Okay. Keep going.
Is this how women speak in your experience, Hank?
Do you think he's into me? Should I ask him if he is?
All right, so I don't understand the question. From what I understand, she broke up with her boyfriend.
Right.
Went to college.
Right.
Hooked up with a guy at a party, goes on dates with him sometimes and parties with him some other times. Pretty crazy story.
Right.
And then he broke up with his girlfriend and they don't talk.
No. I still talk to my ex, and he says that's crazy. He being the friend with benefits.
Yeah.
Oh. But they're not dating.
And I think she's asking, do you think her ex is into her? No. No, wait. I'm
confused.
I got to finish. All right, let me finish the whole thing.
I'm confused.
Let me finish the whole thing. I think it'll clear it up. Do you think he's into me? Should I ask him if he is? Also, his roommate asked to run a 2-man with my roommates, which is crazy, and I don't think any of us are into that. Thanks, guys. Love the pod.
I think if the question is, do you think he's into me and he's hooking up with you, probably.
Yeah.
Kind
well,
of.
he's technically, yes.
We don't know
times.
We don't know what hooking. He's into you and then out of you really quickly.
Yeah.
And then back into you again.
Sounds like you should just be single. And maybe do the threesome thing.
No, 2-man.
2-man. The 2-man. 2-man Tuesdays. What are you going to say, Max?
I think that the guy likes her, but the guy also wants to fuck other girls.
Right. So then just be single yourself. Yeah. Be single yourself.
It sounds like
you're in college.
This is a great relationship that you're in right now where it's like not really dating him.
Also, the roommate that asked to run the 2-man was also just the guy telling his roommate to ask because he wants to probably bang your roommate.
Right. So stay single because you're going to get your heart broken if you fall for this guy.
Yeah. If you end up liking him, just know that he's the kind of guy that wants to share you with his roommate.
Mm-hmm.
Share
her roommate with his roommate.
There's a lot going on in this question.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. All right. That it?
Yep.
All right. Good show. Andrew Santino on Friday. We'll record late after the games as well. Reminder, Pancake stream starting at 5 p.m. Central on all of our channels. And then Chili stream starting at 1 p.m. Central on all of our channels on Thursday. Pancake stream tomorrow. Or today, Wednesday. All right, numbers.
8.
40.
20.
77.
18.
Ball still up top. Yep, got it.
Where's Pug?
He's at a doctor's appointment.
Again? Another vet?
Yeah.
What the fuck? This guy okay? '92.
Love you guys.